This episode of the Esoteric Order of Roleplayers is brought to you by the generosity of our backers on Patreon. Go to patreon.com/esotericrp to find out how you can become a backer too. We create and broadcast these episodes live on native lands. We acknowledge these are unceded lands, with diverse communities maintaining connections to these places, and recognize their ancestors, their elders, both past and present, and future generations. Learn more by visiting the Native American Rights Fund website at narf.org. The Esoteric Order of Roleplayers present The Time of Thin Blood, a Vampire the Masquerade duet chronicle featuring David Larkins and Desiree Valdez.
I'm on a roll. I'm on a roll. This time I feel my luck could change.
That's why I get nervous.
Why do you get nervous?
The sounds, like I'm wondering, like something's gonna pop or be too loud in my ears.
I think
and I have
those
these
days
headphones.
are behind us, hopefully.
I don't.
Knock on wooden dice tower. Anyway, okay, there we go. Hi!
Hi.
So, we're here to play some vampire. Oh my god.
Wow, that is not. That was horrible
That was
for
so
everyone's
bad.
ears. Sorry, everybody. That was
Hold on.
nasty.
Excuse me. I really should get like a hot tea or something when I run games.
You
Now that my vocal cords are starting to
age
to go. Yeah.
go. What do you?
It's a long downward slide. Hopefully it's another 40 years before they're gone entirely.
You
but,
have
you know.
no. You have to like know where you're bringing your voice in through your throat. Like your breath is what drives. So you're doing belly.
Speak from my diaphragm.
Exactly.
Okay.
And you'll be fine.
No throat talking.
You
Lung
can.
talking.
No. Okay. So what you can do is you can be selective
I see.
in how you're using your voice.
Right. Okay. So I'm just not going to talk the rest of the session.
Sure.
Okay. I'll communicate everything through gestures and facial expressions.
That's going to be great.
I'm not that talented. All right.
Why is there static? Dude.
Wow, that's really weird. This thing had like slid out of junction or something.
That happened to a lot of different things recently.
Did it?
I think we're in this transition period of like plugging things in and out of the walls because it's summer.
Metaphorically?
It's becoming summer.
Yes.
It's becoming warmer.
Yes.
And so like plugs are, we're just having to reconfigure our cooling and heating elements.
True.
And this,
true.
I think, extends to the cords we are working with here, even though they rarely move.
I'm so freaked out by the fact that you were like, I'm scared of, and I'm like, oh, those days are behind us. And all of a sudden it's like, you think so?
You can't ever do that. Like, this is the thing about being a superstitious ass like me. You just learn. Just never say never, man.
Welcome to Vampire. Welcome to the world of darkness.
Welcome to the world of darkness.
So,
First of all,
yeah. Any
story
new
goals.
business? Yeah.
I met the prince. I connected with familiar kindred. I've
Okay.
already accomplished 2 story goals.
Nice.
I don't know if my experience points reflect that.
They will at the end of the story. That's why they are
The end of story goals.
And just so you know,
Oh no! I don't want to know. No, I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
how many
Don't-
more chapters are in the story?
Don't. That does nothing for me.
There are
Stop.
9 more chapters.
I'm just gonna tell you, like, I mean, technically that might be interesting to some people, but I'm not some people.
Okay.
So
You're willing to be patient.
I'm patient. I like to see how things unfold. I like to
Yes.
see how it keeps going. Let's see here. I could apologize for so many things, but I'm not going to.
I apologize for nothing.
Basically, at this point, I just have to stop apologizing. Just be like, this is who I am. If you're listening, I'm assuming you're enjoying elements of that. No pressure, you guys. So
You're free to enjoy or not enjoy.
yeah, you can just be like, I hate her. I wish she'd just stop talking.
I love the duets, except for Desiree.
Desiree, she's the worst. The worst. So okay, so I just want to say one thing about this.
Yeah? Say your piece.
I had the story goals.
Speak your truth.
I have a Subaru Legacy now. I wrote that in my notes. It was very important for me to note that. And
That's right. The Subaru Legacy.
okay, here's the thing I'm remembering. Thank you for bearing with my perimenopausal brain. So I had messages. The prince shared a lot of shit because
Yes.
he's very full of himself and doesn't seem to understand there's going to be consequences.
Typical prince behavior.
Oh yeah. So he told me some things. I don't remember some of the things aside from that. Like aside from the I also used temerity wrong, which was funny. I think I meant to say.
that.
No, I'm not apologizing. I'm just saying I used temerity wrong. I meant capacity.
Oh.
We were talking about the vampires being on a wheel,
Yeah.
right? And like the oppositional clans.
Yeah.
And how Tremere and Gangrel are opposites.
Yes.
Because Tremere are all about groups, all about
Right,
mental
right.
prowess, whereas
Right.
Gangrel are about solo, lone people, and physical prowess, right? So they're
Right.
kind of opposites, and
True.
the Tremere exploiting the Gangrel for as gargoyles and all that kind of stuff, and various enslaved peoples. So that being said, I think I said the mental temerity, but I meant. And temerity is like boldness or confidence, right?
Sure.
Whereas capacity is like the ability to do that. So I think I meant mental capacity.
Although temerity worked.
I don't think it did. I think
Well, first of all, it's a pun. Also,
temerity,
but
Right.
also they did have the temerity.
confidence,
Yeah.
mental confidence to be like, I'm going to control you with my brain.
Yeah, I don't know what
I
the
don't know.
dictionary definition of temerity is.
It's excessive confidence or boldness.
Excessive.
Yeah,
And I feel like the Tremere do embody that.
they are excessive. They're dumb
They're
bitches that I
excessive.
hate.
And you're going to run a Tremere Chronicle one day, as we established.
I will throw every Gangrel and every
Every
Shimishi,
Yeah.
every Nosferatu at your asses so hard. They're going to revenge. They're going to take their revenge on your little ivory tower bullshit. And look, I'm not anti-intellectual. I just want to make that really clear.
That's just an alternate name for the Camarilla,
Yes,
the Ivory Tower.
exactly right.
But if it's a Dark Ages Chronicle,
I'm still throwing all those
Even
bitches
in-
at you.
even
I'm throwing
more
witches
interesting.
at you. I will learn mage to throw witches at you, Tremere, so that it'll be witches
don't
versus
threaten
Tremere.
me with a good time.
I will create a coven.
Oh, there's also Mage of Sorcerer's Crusade if we want to do early modern Age of Reason World of Darkness.
I will throw the Bronte sisters at your asses.
No, not-
no,
not-
sorry, Mary. I will throw Mary Wollstonecraft.
Fortunately, it's before her time, but
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Not Mary
I-
Shelley. I'm talking about her mom.
No, I understand.
Okay.
And that's late 1700s.
Vindication of the rights of women.
That's right. I think Sorcerer's Crusade is like 1600s.
Oh,
I could be mistaken, but I think it is.
Well,
And the
I will
idea-
have
the
Mary
idea-
Wollstonecraft.
Yeah, right.
She'll travel in time.
Who was her grandma?
She, yeah.
The idea of playing a Tremere with a ruff is extremely exciting to me. So,
Just get a ruff and just get into it. Like,
no, I personally cannot wear ruffs. I can barely wear ties.
That's true.
I have a throat thing, which is ironic that I'm running a vampire game. Anyways,
all right.
let's come back to the 20th century. The late 20th century.
I
It's
was trying
November
to
of 1998.
I was-
And what are you saying?
I was trying to say that I forgot the things that the prince said that may be pertinent to Irena.
Oh.
And I think those things had to do with the fact that they know that she was at the first city and that
Yeah.
that the sarcophagus has connections to her or
They're
something.
They're looking for her.
They're looking for Irena. And so I wanted to convey that. I think that was everything. But I didn't get a chance to listen to that part. All I listened to were the last like 20 minutes, which was just like bedlam because I ended up killing the Scourge, the Princess Scourge.
Which you're not even sure what that
I don't
is.
know what a Scourge is.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of myself though.
Yeah, good job.
Again, sending messages. I think I've said that last time. I'm sending messages to the prince and to the kindred in Los Angeles. Aaron Evans is back in a very big way. And bitches better beware. Okay. So I guess
Okay.
I'm relying on you, which makes me a little nervous.
Yes.
But I'm relying on you to tell me what the prince said that would be pertinent to Irena so that I would be able to convey that to her. If we even get a chance to talk. She may just be like, fuck this. I have to.
Bye.
I'm closing up my rave for the night and getting the hell out of here.
Shut it down.
Shut it down. Exactly. So that's where I'm at. That's the only thing I wanted to say.
Cool. That's very helpful. And yeah, we can pick it up right where we left off. So, the scourge lies dead.
What do they look like?
It was a woman, and she had she was, you're looking down at her. You ripped her throat out.
Yeah, that's cool. I drank some
and
blood.
You almost committed diablerie. You had
Again.
to roll self-control.
I did, and I made it.
Which would have been so fun, because having this particular person's soul inside of you would have been quite an interesting ride. But anyway.
I feel like we've kind of done that. Unless it's like really compelling, I don't see the point of revisiting
You did it
that.
with a weirdo elder.
Which is
and
so good.
She was not an elder.
Yeah,
obvious-
see, I don't want that.
Clearly. Anyway, you look down at her and, maybe feel a little twinge of regret because she was quite lovely. Probably, Iranian or Armenian. And, dark hair.
Beautiful eyebrows.
Beautiful eyebrows. And yeah, just now she's even paler in death. But, yes, well.
Well, that's her problem.
But yeah, she was wearing, sort of black tactical gear, bulletproof vest.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, so the one thing I remember too is that Irena looked at Elliot, who's the scruffy dude.
Scruffy in a very handsome way. I cast a, in his prime, Chris Cornell.
Oh, that's
right. When he had
right.
super long hair.
Yeah. Oh,
so.
R.I.P. Legend. So I think, she said she didn't think you were, she didn't think there's anything supernatural about you.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is why she
quite a vampire.
Which is why she shot regular bullets at you and used regular bullets.
Right.
So that's disturbing.
Could mean that, unless you want to ask for clarification, she could have maybe just been saying she thought you were a ghoul. Maybe something else.
Now, no. I look, I am dumb.
Yes, as established.
However, I mean that conversation with Steve Booth.
Yeah.
Was echoing in my mind because it's like, who are all these new people on the scene?
All these noobs.
You noob.
Which is not a term Aaron would know. Probably.
No. Thank God. So he would think there's all these new people on the scene.
Yes.
What's the deal? And also maybe there's something to this.
Right.
And I'm thinking about what Steve Booth said, oh yeah, they're barely vampires, and so she's saying that I think as dumb as I am, I think I would make that connection.
Yeah.
Because my streetwise is 3.
Sure. Well, what's your wits?
Wits are 3.
Yeah, that's
So-
above average.
Yeah. So it's wait a minute.
Intelligence, I think, and I have the book right here, but my understanding of the intelligence,
I think we've reviewed it a lot.
Attribute is it's like your book learning. It's your,
Yeah.
so you may have even gotten your GED. Not saying that people.
No, he
who
went
get
to
their
college.
GED, oh, you did, didn't you?
Yeah.
So you just kind of
Coasted through.
Oh
yeah.
You had other people do your homework for you.
Probably,
and stuff like
yeah.
that. But
Yeah.
you're obviously a very smart person.
Yeah.
It's just you're not intellectually smart. You're not academically smart.
No.
You're quick. You are observant,
Mm-hmm.
and you can put the pieces together.
Yeah.
Pretty easily. Ooh, creepy. Wow.
What the hell's that?
I don't know. Sounds like a demon baby. Sounds like Batboy.
It does sound like Batboy coming to life.
Oh, it's the good old Heat soundtrack again. Coming back.
Yeah.
Every time we're like, what's that?
Yeah,
It's the Heat soundtrack.
Yeah, it's Heat. Watch Heat, you guys.
Absolutely.
1994?
96, I
6.
think.
Heat. Watch Heat.
And track down the soundtrack. It's not available on streamers.
No.
But you can find the CD on eBay for pretty cheap.
Yeah.
If you like the good ambient Kronos Quartet style music, it's good stuff.
Heat is great. Watch
Good,
Heat.
it's good working music, studying music. Because, who doesn't want random Bat Boy screeches while you're writing?
I know. It helps me.
It helps me as well.
It gets me back on track.
Fuels
if
my
I start
ramen.
daydreaming, then I hear Bat Boy screaming. I'm like, oh, back on the page. Back on the page. Let's get back to writing.
All right.
Okay.
So, point of fact, Irena's bent down and has picked up the, the sidearm. And it's like a Glock, right? Kind of a nice.
All right, this is a bit much.
It's almost over. It's a very brief track.
Why is that? What scene is this from?
I don't know.
Heat is like not supernatural.
Check this out, though. The name of the track, Armenia.
Well,
so maybe it's her soul.
It's her ancestors.
You're feeling it.
Her ancestors are upset.
Yeah.
Her soul's having to reckon with her ancestors. Like, why'd you allow yourself to become a vampire?
That's right.
They're mad at her. Okay.
So she's picked up the Glock. She's slipped the magazine out and is looking at the bullets thoughtfully.
Yeah.
You hear...
Oh, no. No.
No, don't worry. Don't worry.
Oh, wait. Really quick.
Yes?
I was rolling so hot last sesh. I don't expect those same results. I'm scared, but...
You should be.
God damn. I should be. Was rolling so damn hot last time. It was pretty nice. I enjoyed the moment.
I'm just going to say the way my notes are set up for this session, I very rarely do this, but I've sketched out 2 completely different possible directions that this session could go in, depending on the outcome of a single dice roll.
It's going to go a secret third way, right?
Very shortly. Well, you could actually theoretically combine both. Kind of depends on what ends up happening.
All right, let's do it.
So
she's looking at the bullets thoughtfully.
She's like just seeing if there was anything like, are they silver? Do they have garlic in them? Whatever. Well, because she knows it's the Prince's Scourge, but maybe. So
she's doing that, and I'm like, what the fuck is a scourge?
So sort of absentmindedly, she says some princes use them. They're basically their enforcers or assassins. And she puts the magazine back in, shrugs, and then the door of this RV opens, and you all look over, and it's a little girl standing in the doorway. She looks to be about maybe 7 or 8 years old. She's blonde, like very light blonde hair, but sort of dark eyes and slightly tanned skin. She looks very much alive. She does not look like a vampire.
Thank God.
You can roll perception plus awareness, nevertheless. Difficulty 6.
Okay. Six.
Yep.
Wow.
Uh-oh.
Whoa.
Oh, are you on fire again? Oh, you don't re-roll the zeros.
Oh.
What do you have a specialty in perception or awareness? Fine details, I believe, right?
That's alertness. That's not
awareness.
awareness.
Okay.
You said awareness.
Awareness, yeah.
Yeah, 3.
Okay. So remember, 10s only matter if you have a specialty, and in that case, they count for 2.
I'm getting there.
Yeah. No,
I'll remember by the end of this whole chronicle.
And that's fine, because we're going to carry on with the classic storyteller system beyond that.
Sure.
So.
You save it. Whatever.
Well, no, you're right. I mean, the next chronicle is going to be GURPS Vampire the Masquerade, but, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
I would not.
I have my reasons.
I would not be surprised.
My reasons.
I would not be surprised.
Anyway.
Jesus. All right.
21 years.
3.
3 successes.
3 successes.
She is mortal. You can hear her heart beating, but there's something different about, like, the sensation you get as you look at her. It feels unlike anything you have ever observed before, and you have no idea what that means, but it just feels different.
Does she look familiar?
No, I've
Okay.
never seen her before.
Again, man, I'm scared. Any child I see, I'm thinking Christopher allowed Araceli to have her demon seed, and that's my baby.
You're assuming that whatever was growing inside Araceli was going to look like a human.
But I am.
Speaking of Bat Boy, That's where Batboy came from.
There we go.
In the world of darkness.
The world of darkness.
Batboy is real, and he's Aaron's son.
If y'all don't know about Batboy,
Oh, God.
first of
You're missing
all,
out.
there is so much lore. So just look up Batboy, listen to Batboy the musical. There's a handful of really great songs in it.
You've listened to Batboy the musical?
I put one of them on one of my Broadway musical mixes for you.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I could have sworn.
I don't think you did.
I put it on some mix.
Okay. All right.
It's good.
Okay.
So, Batboy, Weekly World News. Get it? We've talked about Batboy before. Okay. So this child looks like a child, but there's something uncanny about her.
Yes.
Does she look like she's registering things like a normal child, or does she seem like adult-like in terms of how she's like looking at us?
She looks scared and confused.
She's scared and confused.
And you can feel the adrenaline.
So I feel like Irena mentioned a child, like mentioned a kid. Did she in the last step or no? Not at all.
I don't remember.
Because there was a little kid that was peeking out.
Right. Yes.
And I was like, what the hell?
Irena didn't say anything.
Oh, and I
You
didn't
just-
say anything.
You just noticed like a little hand pulling the blinds
Little
down,
fingers.
and then-
Okay. So I'll say, who the hell is that?
So Irena looks up and she says, "Everyone's okay, Lila. Don't worry."
Lila. Okay.
And Lila just looks down at the body. Mm-hmm. And Irena says, she came to hurt us. And Aaron here helped defend us. And
Sorry, the way you're making it sound like it sounds like the Twilight Zone with the kid who
yeah.
like everything's good.
Everything's good.
great.
It's real good. Well, she's trying to
Explain.
be comforting,
Yeah.
but also like she's obviously one of these adults who's like, I don't talk down to children. You know, it's just kind of like I'm just going to speak in plain language.
Yeah.
But I'm also like I'm just going to be honest.
Yeah.
As opposed to she's just sleeping, and
Right.
those bangs you heard were fireworks or something.
Right,
you know
right.
what I mean?
Okay. So
So-
I'm saying, like, who the heck is that?
And so Irena says, oh, and then you said, what the fuck is a scourge? And she said, okay, yeah, just reminding myself what's
Yeah.
been said. All right, so she looks at you and she says she's going to be your ward for the next 24 hours.
Why?
I have to get the fuck out of here. I'm taking my club with me. We're heading for Vegas.
Not Vegas. I'm like, not Vegas.
It's
Under
changed.
my breath.
Rothstein's not in charge anymore.
But Manon is there at the, and I'm about to curse, right?
Yeah,
and then I
yeah.
see the kid. I'm like, the friggin' Luxor.
At the flippin' Luxor.
Yeah, exactly.
At the ploppin' Luxor.
That's right.
Ploppers. So she, she gives a little shrug like, well, yeah. Well, yeah, you're going to get Manon. No, but she says, we're on good terms. I don't have anything to
You better
fear
put a
from her.
good word in for me.
You know I will. Plus, I have to check out this competition. Apparently, there's this new casino that's opened out there called the Crypt or something like that. All the kindred in Vegas are raving about it. Anyway, I got to get out of here. You got to get out of here. The prince, you killed the prince's scourge.
I don't know what a scourge is. I thought he has a bodyguard.
Yeah.
Interact with that guy.
Oh, you met the sheriff?
Yes.
Oh,
Sheriff.
He's a
Sheriff?
pile of fun, isn't he?
Sheriff and a scourge?
Yes, the Camarilla. They love their titles. They love their stupid little rituals and councils and subcommittees. It's like Congress in vampire form.
So while she's doing that, is she like gathering up this kid's stuff?
Yeah, she's like walking around and like kind of she's
Like goes back into the.
yeah, she goes into the RV and you can hear her like shouting and as there's like crashing sounds and stuff, and then she comes back out and she's like, Elliot, you know what to do, and he just nods and grabs the Scourge's body and starts dragging it away, and then she says the Scourge is it's a sign of our times, okay, because it's something that they used to use a lot more back. I mean, even before the Camarilla, back in the long night, and they stopped using them there for a long time because it's kind of brutal. It's brute force, and princes felt like it was a sign of weakness to have a scourge.
Why?
Because they're assassins, Aaron. Their sole purpose is to eliminate the prince's enemies through any means necessary.
So are they viewing you as the enemy or me?
I have to think they were coming for me, which is why I'm getting the hell out of here.
Well, the prince was telling me, so I'm like following her around, like telling, like,
yeah.
Like the prince knows you were in the first city. He knows that you're connected to the sarcophagus. I don't know if you heard about the sarcophagus.
So she whips around and grabs you by the lapels, and she says, "What? How does he know that?"
I don't know. I don't.
You don't,
right?
That's true.
I mean, I know that like there was somebody who was like in my mind.
Yeah.
But was it like clear to me that I knew that that's the memories she was pulling, or that I just knew she was in my mind?
You knew she was in your mind, and that memory came up seemingly unbidden.
I gotta be. She's gonna kick my ass, but I'm gonna say like somebody in his group. I don't know. She had this like gray white hair. She was older looking, and I think she got into my head.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Tremere witch, god damn it. And she turns around.
Pushes me away.
She pushes you a little bit and is like walking, and she is like impotent rage. She picks up like a folding lawn chair and like hurls it, and it like arcs off like 50 feet.
She's back outside.
Crashing down. Yeah.
Okay.
So she was pacing around outside. And then she comes back. She's like, fucking... Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I'm hitting the road. Lila's going with you.
Why?
You and Elliot, you're going to take Lila. Now that I'm a target, I can't have her with me. I don't want her endangered. I have a place, and you, buddy, if Ambeline was inside your head, she might be able to track you right now. I don't know. Blood magic is weird shit. So you gotta make tracks too. The place I can send you to, it's way the fuck out of the way. If they can't track you, they're never going to find you. If they can track you, it's a good defensible location. Just stay on your toes. Keep an eye out for anything, really.
All right, fine. What do I do with this kid?
I'll tell you, but Elliot needs to get back here, and then I'll fill you both in. But
all right.
We got to head out tonight, so I got to go shut this shit down. So she starts heading into the, the tented area.
Okay, so I walk over to this little girl.
Yeah.
Is she still in the RV?
Yeah, she kind of. Well, actually, I think when Irena went in and was like, rooting through everything, she probably would have stepped out and just kind of, positioned herself off to the side so as not to be in the way.
But Irena was getting all of her stuff together. She was like putting it into a bag or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
So what does that look like?
Let's see. Trying to think here. I'm just pulling something up while we're talking.
Because I don't know how. I can't offer any suggestions.
I know, right?
Because I don't know the whereabouts or how this kid was procured. I don't know.
I'm gonna say it. It's a backpack. It's like a kid-sized backpack. Obviously a bit scuffed, a bit beaten up, probably like secondhand.
What color is it?
But it's kind of like a aqua blue, and it's got it's like a Disney branded backpack, so it's got like Aladdin and Jasmine on it.
Okay.
And it's been kind of stuffed full, of all her like clothes and whatever else.
Okay. So I think what I'll do.
So they obviously travel light.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it.
Okay.
And is there like a card table outside?
Yeah.
All right. So I will bring the bag out.
Okay.
And I'm gonna unpack it, and I'm just gonna like carefully like pull the things out and just like start rolling them neatly.
Yeah, because everything had just been very roughly
and I'm just
shoved in there.
And I just because I want her to just see me doing this.
Okay.
Because I just think it might help her to like feel a little bit more comfortable. So I'll just say, "Hi, Lila. I'm Aaron."
Okay, let's get a roll to see that vibe check.
Okay.
And see how you go. So
I'm disarming.
You are disarming. Is that your charisma?
Yep.
Okay. So it would definitely be charisma. What
I think empathy.
Pair with that. Empathy, absolutely.
Or expression if I'm trying to like show like I'm a nice person.
Expression's more like performance.
That's
so
right.
that would be if you were like telling her a story or
Empathy.
something like that.
Okay.
So like or reading to her.
All right. So I have disarming.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Yeah, no pressure.
All right. Wow. What's the difficulty?
I'm going to say that since Irena put in a good word for you, we'll make it a 5.
8.
An 8. Okay.
I rolled 3 10s.
8? Wait. 8 successes? 8 successes.
Yes.
I thought you meant you rolled an 8. And 8 successes?
Because I have disarming as part of my charming.
Yes, so it counts for 2. I know. Yeah.
So I'm
Holy shit.
So I'm rolling it up.
All right.
I'm rolling up the clothes. I'm carefully putting them back into the backpack.
Okay, and you just said, hi, I'm Aaron.
I said, hi, I'm Aaron.
All right. So she, she gives you that sort of tentative smile that kids will sometimes give you when they're like, okay, I'm getting a good vibe off you, but you're still like way bigger than me.
Yeah.
And, maybe a little scary. But nevertheless,
my eyes are kind of crazy, but I still have my sunglasses on.
Yeah. Yeah. So she does smile at you. And then so you're like pulling clothes out, but then, mixed in with the clothes are like, there's like a Barbie.
Yeah.
And then there's like a Lunchable.
Yeah.
And so that falls out and you see her eyes dart to it and she looks a little hungry.
So I go, do you want to eat?
So she just gives you this like
All right.
enthusiastic
So I'll
nod.
pick it up and I'll hand it to her. Do you know how to open this? Mm-hmm. All right. So
she peels the back and
Okay.
takes a little red stick out and, starts digging away at the Velveeta within.
Oh, you mean like a little cheese and crackers packet, not a Lunchable. Like a Lunchable
Those
would...
are called Lunchables.
No, they weren't.
Well, Lunchable on the go or whatever.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure. Sound off in the comments if I'm wrong.
Nobody
Anyway.
sounds off anywhere.
Good.
No, it's not good.
Oh, wow. Okay. Interesting. Okay. So.
Was that the roll to decide everything?
What?
Oh, no. I must destroy you.
So yeah, exactly.
You're the Antichrist.
Oh my God.
Like, shit.
Yeah. Oh, true faith. No. All right. So as you're handing it to her, there's even like kind of a wholesome kind of moment. Like, again, when you're relating to a younger kid and you're like, hi,
Yeah.
like, how is this going to go? And then you just sense that like, okay, I'm cool. I'm in, like they trust me. And, and then, your tiny little shriveled heart maybe feels a little lightened by that, a little filled by that sensation, the innocence of children. But then that is very quickly quashed by this cold wave that washes over you as you feel once again the summonation.
Oh, shit.
The summonation of your grandsire.
No, this fucking asshole.
I rolled 6 successes this time. So I am also on
Good
fire.
for you.
Subject rushes to the vampire, doing anything to get to her.
Oh, no. Why? Can't I counter that at all?
I really got to leave this open.
You do. You
Hold
really
on,
do.
hold on. Oh, I've got it right there. Okay.
All right.
Let's see.
Because
here.
I should be able to resist. Since I can soak physical damage, is there a way to soak, mental damage?
Okay.
Because I view this as mental fucking damage. Bitch, I want nothing. I did
You
my...
want to soak it.
I did my thing. I'm done with you.
So you think.
No, I do. I know.
Although this power allows the vampire to call someone across a staggering distance, it is most useful when used locally. Even if the desired person books the next available flight, getting to Kyoto from Milwaukee, Jesus, they can summon you from across the
oceans
world.
of time, baby.
Oceans of time. Can still take far longer than vampire needs. Subject thinks mainly of reaching the vampire, but does not neglect his own well-being. This
Okay.
is less of a consideration if he only has to cross a room, unless he must get through a gang of gun-wielding punks to do so. The individual retains his survival instincts, and while he won't shirk physical violence to reach the vampire's side, he won't subject himself to suicidal situations. The summoning dissipates at dawn. Okay. And the number of successes indicates the subject's speed and attitude in responding. Yeah, this is a 4-dot discipline, so it's pretty powerful.
Fuck. So I'll be like, okay, cool. So I more quickly like.
So Elliot's coming back.
Okay, and I'll be like, we got to get out of here now. But I have to go. Somewhere else. But we got to just leave now.
Okay, where's Irena?
She went to go shut everything down. She said she was going to tell you where we need to take this. There's a stronghold somewhere. I have to go.
All right. Yeah, that's fine. I can handle Lila. It's fine.
Do you have a phone? Or do you have a pager? Or do you have something I can contact you?
Where we're going, I don't think there'd be any signal.
Do you know where it is?
Something. Yeah, I do.
So now I'm like worried. I'm like, now I don't know like who else is in my brain. If they're going to get that information.
Right.
So.
Need to know basis only.
I don't know what to do because I want to help Irena out.
Let me think here.
And she was willing to give me that information, even though she knew that like the Tremere were probably in my brain somehow.
Yeah. Well, she said it's a highly defensible position. So here's what we're gonna do. Let's see here. Let me just.
So I can't resist it. I have to go.
Yeah, you do. Okay. All right. So Elliot looks. He's kind of thinking for a minute, and then he's like, "Look at me."
Okay.
And you're looking at him, and then suddenly it feels like you're driving a car, and you're looking in the rear view. You're looking in the rearview mirror, and it's his eyes, and then you're like looking at things from his POV as he's driving, and you just know that you're on the 14 freeway. And then you see an exit coming up for Placerita Canyon.
Shit.
And then the blinker turns on and the car starts going off the off ramp there.
Okay, so
and
I
he's
nod.
Like, you get it?
Yeah.
And it dissipates, and then suddenly you're looking at him again.
Yeah. So I look at the back.
Ravnos are so cool.
What?
Ravnos are so cool.
They're very cool. So I go, okay, sure. So I finish up with the backpack, right? And I bend down because she's like still probably eating, right?
Yeah,
probably watching. She sat down
us on the lawn chair that Irena did not hurl. So.
Right, she's like probably looking at us, right?
And her legs are kind of kicking because she's up on the seat.
Yeah. So I'm gonna squat down and I'm gonna look at her, and I'll say, "I'll see you again."
Okay. So she nods and she goes, "You have cool sunglasses.
Thanks.
Can I have them?"
Sure.
Okay, so you take them off. So she looks at your eyes and doesn't bat an eye.
Okay.
And so she takes these like adult-sized sunglasses and puts them on. So of course they're like sort of oversized,
right. Right. So I'm like, all right, I'll see you again. So I pat her on the head.
Yeah.
And I stand back up and so I just nod to Elliot, who sees my eyes for the first time.
Yep, and his eyebrow cocks, but he's like, "That's dope."
And so I said, "Tell Irena I'll be able to meet you all, but I have to go."
Right on.
All right, so off I go.
Okay.
Back into the legacy.
So just so you know, Elliot's mortal identity was a special effects artist.
Oh.
So he probably thinks you're just wearing like
special kind of contacts.
Contacts, yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So
just for effect, because that's something he'd do, right?
Right. Okay, so I'm gonna.
I got to get some lenses.
Yeah. So I just run my car and then I just start driving.
Yeah.
Back to the city.
Yeah, you rooster tail out of there. All right.
So I picture Irena coming back like, okay, what the fuck?
What the fuck?
But she sees the glasses on Lila and
yeah. Yep.
Elliot has to calm her down.
Exactly. God damn it.
No, it's okay.
All right. So you were in Pomona.
God damn it.
All right.
What does she want? How can I break this bond? Is this It's not a blood bond.
You're gonna have to go find what's his name?
Professor Gregory.
Professor Gregory.
Halberstam.
Yeah.
Halberstam.
Fill me in. How does this
Be like,
frickin'
okay,
discipline
Brunhilde
work?
is here. The one you had a hard on for, she's here. Do you want me to introduce
The
you
one
guys?
you had a hard on for.
He was like amazed by her.
She's here. Oh God.
Oh.
How do I look? Starts combing his
Was he
beard.
German? Like, what was he?
Yeah, I think he was like Norwegian or something.
Norwegian, yeah.
How do I look?
Yeah. Like, oh God. So off we go.
Okay.
Driving from
So-
Pomona back to I don't know where.
So
right?
you know instinctually to get onto the 10.
Oh,
So you're right there.
yeah.
Which is nice.
Yeah.
So you just
driving.
You drive the 10 west all the way past Covina, West Covina, Baldwin Park, El Monte, Rosemead, Alhambra, and then it comes down, crosses the 710.
Oh.
You're heading towards downtown, so you see the big skyscrapers, and they're all lit up because you got out to the rave fairly early, right? That was like
First thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's only about midnight.
Yeah.
The streets are nice and open. It is a Tuesday night, so nobody's really out and about. More so,
Yeah.
Like, I mean, obviously there's traffic, but it's not stop and go.
Okay.
And as ironically, as you get closer to downtown, the traffic thins out more and more
Yeah.
because downtown's kind of deserted at night, as it turns out.
But I'm feeling the presence strong. It's like the closer I get, the stronger it feels.
Oh, yeah.
Where I'm like feeling more like the urgency is like I have to be in her
you're
presence.
doing like 90, and you're like kind of weaving through the traffic, not recklessly, but just
Well-
you're not you get in the HOV lane for a little bit,
Yeah.
even though you're just a single driver.
Wow. So edgy.
Humanity test.
So edgy. That is a humanity
Dude,
test.
if you were like
y'all.
Humanity 10, you would have to, because that's selfish thoughts.
It is.
Oh, actually, even Humanity 9, minor selfish acts. So that would be a humanity
That would be humanity test. It is.
I drove in the HOV lane even though I was a single passenger. All right.
All right. So I'm feeling this just undeniable, like irresistible urge to
Yes.
just be in her presence,
Yes.
even though I just absolutely abhor her.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, you abhor her by now.
I'm
Oh,
angry.
Interesting.
Dude, she like almost chopped my head off with her bare hands. All right.
Yeah, but she spared you. I mean,
Whatever.
Come on.
Whatever.
Come on.
That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
All right.
Okay, so you're coming in. You cross the 710. You go past Cal State LA.
Oh, okay.
And you're coming up towards the 5 interchange.
Why didn't I just go to Cal State LA?
Oh, don't get into this headspace now. Start questioning your life decisions. As Kenny put it, it makes you want to start your life over.
wait. Playing a game?
Well, no, like when
Playing
he
a
was feeling envious of that artist. He's like, it makes me want to start my life over.
Bitch, you got one life to live. Live it.
right.
Live it.
Okay,
I'm mostly just curious. Like,
Absolutely.
what if I had actually had my shit together at a certain age to do
Well-
X, Y, or Z?
I mean, I don't think there's anybody who does not think that.
That's a normal human thing.
That's right. Perfectly normal, perfectly healthy.
Perfectly normal, perfectly healthy.
Okay, so you take the 10 all the way to the 101 interchange. You get on the 101. You take the Temple Street exit.
Oh, okay.
You are right down
I am
near-
right in the heart of downtown. Dorothy Chandler Pavilion.
That's right.
You know it. That's the music center.
Absolutely.
That's like one of the main media, like where you would see a
Absolutely.
symphony, an opera, a
Yes.
Broadway show, a play,
All kinds of things.
media center.
Indeed. And so you get off there and then
Where the
start
hell is this bitch?
navigating through downtown LA.
Where is she?
Where are you?
Where are you?
All right. So, indeed, where are you? I got to pull up my link to the Google map. Okay. So, you've never been quite down this way before.
Really?
It's kind of new. It's let's see here.
God, I'm over
Oh,
this. I'm
right.
over this. The prince has the sarcophagus. No,
Yes.
no. Brunhilde has a sarcophagus.
Correct.
They're looking for her. Probably.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what's happening. The witch vampire went into my brain, pulled out a bunch of memories. She may still be tracking me. Mm-hmm. Brunhilde's an idiot. And I'll be like, the second I get there and I see her, I'll be like, they probably already know where you are because they went into my dumbass brain. So that's what's going to happen.
Okay.
That's the intention. The intention is the second I see her, I'm warning her.
I misspoke.
Oh.
You get on the 101, but only for one exit.
Oh.
And then you take the main street exit.
Oh, okay, that's different.
Okay, so you're not quite in the heart of downtown.
No.
But the skyscrapers are
skies.
looming over you because they're just west of you.
Yeah.
And then you follow Main Street and you're heading down towards Little Tokyo.
That's right. Oh, wait, what? No!
She's got Amy Patterson in a basement with a gun to her head. No,
no.
I would never.
Amy would never. How dare you?
I want to see Amy versus Brunhilde.
That's
the matchup I want to see.
It may be that.
It may happen.
It may be that. We're talking about the thing with the themes with Amy stuff are these legacies, or these ancestral roots.
Yeah.
Like we need to get rid of the old shit.
That's the old shit.
I want the new shit.
I want the new shit. Yeah.
Well, let's get rid of the older sins. She just might be like, I only get off on killing elders now. Because fuck all y'all. Thin bloods. Thinking you're something. You don't even deserve my blade.
Oh, shit.
That kind of shit.
Ooh.
Don't you love it?
That's rough.
It just comes unbidden.
Damn.
I know.
Okay.
Amy's so good. Aaron's great too.
Yeah.
He's just in a different way. So
Yeah.
come on, can we get to where we're going?
I'm getting there.
I'm dying right now.
I know you are. Okay, so you pull up outside of. Now we were just talking about Aaron's lack of academic rigor. So
Not UCLA.
I'm gonna say, yeah. Dr. Dupass wants to talk to you.
Oh my God, David!
Actually, I found out a hilarious.
I would love that.
I found out a hilarious LA by Night fact that's connected to UCLA, and I have to try and work it in probably in the next Chronicle, but I have to try and remember it. So
can you make a note of
I'm
it
gonna
right
make a
now?
note. No, okay, fine.
Do it right now.
UCLA and
Fun fact: LA by Night, Demon's Gem, Demon's Jewel, Demon's Stone.
Yep. Okay, so you pull up outside of what looks like an old church. That's
Demon's
what you
Legacy.
would. That's what you would think as Aaron.
It looks like
Evans.
an old church.
What I will tell you as Desiree is that it looks like a Roman basilica.
Oh, it's the cathedral?
Now, in 1998, this worked out so well.
Oh,
again,
wow.
I love this shit.
Okay.
I did not intend for this to happen.
Of course not.
In 1998, it was boarded up.
Yes.
It was in the middle of a legal struggle because it was damaged in the 94 earthquake.
Right.
And the diocese wanted to level it.
Oh.
And the local historical preservation society
like,
was like, the fuck you will.
Yeah, not on our watch.
And the diocese was like, hey, it's our property.
Like, we can do
level it.
whatever we want.
And they actually, fun fact, they actually just hired the demolition crew and had them come in on a Saturday to start the demolition. And somebody called the historical society and they rushed in and got a temporary injunction to stop them from doing it.
Whoa.
That was like in 95, I think.
And then what happened?
Well, a compromise was reached.
Okay.
And the city said, what if we build you a new, way uglier cathedral nearby? And they were like, sure. And so the city got possession of St. Vibiana, which is the technical name. And then the diocese got their new cathedral, which is, half mile that a ways or whatever. And in 98, they still hadn't figured out what they wanted to do with it. So it's boarded up.
I'm so curious.
It's condemned.
I'm so curious, like, what ended up happening with it, but
I can tell you.
Okay.
It's just called Vibiana, and it's an event location. So they rent it out. They've had...
Isn't that
so LA?
LA.
They've had 2 Emmy Award after parties there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so evil.
It is evil, I know.
I kind of love it.
I know. It's so
good
sacrilegious.
for them. Good for them. It is. It's very, very blasphemous. Okay. So that's amazing. And that is just...
Yeah.
That is LA.
So,
all right.
You pull up outside this basilica.
And it looks condemned. It looks like boarded up.
There's plywood on every.
There's notices posted on it, probably.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Keep out.
Don't, yeah.
And so, it's just a classic
Yeah.
Italianate basilica
Yeah.
with a big bell tower down at the end.
Yeah, just square and
very
roof.
Pitched roof and very heavy looking,
Yeah,
right?
it does look
It's
heavy.
pre-Gothic.
yeah, it is.
There's not a lot of windows.
No.
Because and that's intentional. It's, basilicae were originally
When was it built originally?
1870 or 80 something.
Because I'm thinking about Killer Diller. Remember, you get pushed out. You either jump or get pushed out of a window somewhere.
Somewhere, yeah. Okay, so so you see 3 figures lurking in the shadows.
God damn these assholes!
And
I already have zero patience for this.
they come stepping out.
I don't
into
have my sunglasses
into
on.
the street light. That's right. You see that it is Victoria, the Valkyrie, and 2 guys who are both like much larger than her.
Victoria was the smaller one.
Victoria's the smaller,
Light-haired.
light-haired German girl who's been relatively recently embraced.
More recently embraced.
She's about your equivalent, both
Yeah.
in terms of age and in terms of power.
That's right.
Right. So, and she's wearing her like denim, vest with all her like pins on it,
Yeah.
and her sort of like camouflage combat pants.
Right,
and,
right.
And so, and she looks uncomfortable being next to these guys because they look like a couple of, I don't know, mafia guys. They're wearing like tailored Armani suits. Give me a perception
like
plus
that
firearms
at
roll,
all.
please.
I don't like that. Perception is 3. Firearms is 1. And I hate it.
6 difficulty.
2.
Yeah, they're both packing heat.
I think I have that based on again, being around the Crip Sons, being around, those groups and knowing how it looks. Be like, oh, what's going on, guys?
You've gotten out of the car?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Victoria just says, Brunhilde awaits within.
Who are these 2?
Couple of ghouls.
From who?
You'll see. She seems very put out,
All right.
just around this way.
All right, I'll follow you.
And then the guys fall in behind you.
Yeah.
So you walk through a little wrought iron gate into the little.
Oh God.
Is there a name for those little side gardens that are next to
There
churches and cathedrals?
I would say it's a courtyard, but
yeah.
there probably is some official name.
You know what I'm talking
Architecture.
about.
Yeah.
A little walled garden.
Yeah.
Right, with a fountain, a dry fountain, and some religious statues, various kinds.
Is Giamotto waiting for me?
Giamotto. That's an on cinema reference for those of you who follow along. So anyway, you walk through this courtyard, and then there's the little side door entryway. You can see that the plywood has been torn away and discarded off to the side. And there's another one of these hired goons.
So let's just be clear here.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm trying to get my timeline in order.
Correct. Okay.
I waited a night to go to the right. So
Yeah.
I went. So the whole heist happened.
Yep.
I got kidnapped. That's what happened.
Yeah, you were abducted.
I got
yes.
abducted and brain scanned. And then I went to the last round. That's where I saw Smiling Jack and was avoiding Jesus, a little punk.
Yeah. Punk ass bitch.
I didn't want to interact with him yet. Found out about the Succubus Club. I feel like I went just the same night. Or did I wait a night?
I think that was the same night. But was it the same night as the heist? Oh, yeah, it was, wasn't it? Yeah. Okay.
So it all happened. This is the
This
same.
has been a busy night.
This is the same night.
Now, we've made this mistake before where we were like, it's all the same night. And then we're like, oh, wait, no, it's the next night. But I think this time it is the same night.
Really?
I should keep better notes.
Eh,
Anyway.
I mean, I'm responsible too.
It doesn't matter that much because either way, if it's the same night or the next night, that wouldn't affect what's going on here.
I feel like I waited one. I think I did wait a night.
Yeah.
But I don't know where I would have slept. I usually make a really big point of like saying where I slept.
Yeah.
So I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think it was all the same night.
Yeah, because you came out and so it might actually. I think the only difference is maybe it's not midnight. Maybe it's like 3 a.m.
How about that?
Fine.
Yeah, we're getting close to dawn, which
It is
not
close
good.
to dawn. Yeah.
Excuse me. So
Okay.
walking up.
So you walk in. There's another hired goon at the side door. He
Oh,
opens the
God.
door. You walk in, and yeah, it's
No.
quite a little assembly.
No.
So first thing you see is a bunch of these. Your dad would know those little hook lamps. You know the kinds?
Yeah.
You know they got a little cage around
Yeah.
them and a hook on top.
Yeah, I don't know the name.
So anyway, they're arrayed all around to like provide light, and you can hear like the distant thrumming of a generator somewhere. You know, most of them are focused on the altar.
Is it like a marble floor?
Yes.
Like there's pews?
Pretty sure it
Or did they remove
is.
the pews by then?
Hold on. The pews are out.
Okay. So it's just a marble
I'm
floor
looking at an interior shot.
or stone.
It looks like it is stone. I'm gonna say it's stone. It's kind of it's a blood red, kind of a dark brown, like a
Okay.
mahogany almost.
So it's wood.
It may be. It's hard
Well,
to
that just
say.
seems weird. It would be a hardwood floor on a church.
yeah.
It seemed like it'd be stone or marble.
We're just gonna say it's stone in the world of darkness.
So it's a
here's a
polished-
higher up.
It's polished stone.
Oh, it is actually wood.
Is it wood?
Though. It's like a parquet kind of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there's like white marble
Altar
and
yeah,
dais.
this very elaborate altar with the pulpit above the altar, weirdly enough.
That's very weird. So there's
Isn't
little
it?
stairs that go up to the
Yeah.
top.
And
That's
this-
so unique.
Yeah, and this little
No wonder they wanted to conserve it.
Yeah. Oh, it's beautiful. Next
Okay.
time we're out there we should go.
Yeah, we should.
But yeah, and then this it is a marble
Dais.
dais. Yeah.
Okay.
And so right there, right on the dais is the Ankaran sarcophagus.
Yeah. I would imagine. I'd hope so.
I would
After
bloody
all-
well hope so.
After all that trouble. Right.
Sitting nearby on the steps of the dais is Brunhilde,
How does she? What's her demeanor? Like, what's her?
relaxed.
Huh.
She's got her hands like kind of on her knees. And
She's not feeling
she's
pouty like
she's
Victoria.
no, she's like looking at her claws, you know,
Oh,
kind of
okay.
doing this. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, look, observing her manicure.
Observing her manicure.
Uh-huh.
Speaking of the Valkyries, the other two, Wanda and Agneta, are nearby.
What are they doing?
They're kind of just, they got their arms folded.
Uh-huh.
They're in like, sort of watchful mode. Not exactly on guard.
How many ghouls are there?
Okay, so Brunhilde is obviously in the midst of a conversation
Oh,
with a fellow.
David.
You've never seen him before.
Thank God. Okay, good.
But he does.
Good.
You know what? You invoke Giamato. So he's a little man.
Uh-huh.
He's old, handsome in
Mm-hmm.
a sort of elderly way, and clearly was once, a good-looking
Yeah.
kind of, Latin guy, maybe
Yeah.
Italian, maybe Spanish, maybe South American.
Yeah.
And Argentinian, perhaps. Yes. Also wearing a tailored suit.
Okay.
This one, though, with a little bit more of a flair. It's got like a hot pink tie and a hot pink, breast pocket kerchief.
Pocket square, yeah.
Pocket square. Thank you. And see, I'm equally as ignorant about men's fashions as I am about women's fashions. I'm a t-shirt and jeans kind of guy.
Yeah.
Anyways, they're talking, and then
It seems okay, though.
It seems okay. Everyone's just kind of on guard, but like not in a tense way. It's just this is a valuable artifact. People
Yeah.
want to make sure it's protected.
Okay.
So as you come in, Brunhilde looks up from her nails and sees you walking in, and she says, this is the guy you want.
What?
And the old man turns to look at you.
So my face is like, what? Like,
Yeah.
no, I don't say it, but I'm just like
Yeah.
furrowing my face. Like, what the fuck is she talking about?
Yeah.
This older man.
So he turns and looks at you, kind of, and you've got. I mean, you're a tall guy, right?
Yeah, I'm like 6'4".
6'4". So
Yeah.
you've got not quite a foot on him. You've got maybe 10 inches on him.
Yeah.
And at least 50 pounds.
Yeah.
And but he looks you up and down as you walk up, and let's see, trying to channel. Aaron Evans, good to meet you finally. And he puts his hand out to shake.
I shake his hand.
You can't help but notice the signet ring.
Yeah.
You know.
Is there a symbol that I recognize, or
Give me a perception plus alertness.
roll recognize?
Yeah.
Perception plus alertness. Find details.
Yeah, roll recognize. What's his glory bonus?
Yeah, exactly. If only. That would help me with a lot of rolls. In
Oh my
Vampire.
god, that's true.
All right, what is the
Difficulty 5.
6 successes?
Okay. Yeah. So it catches some of the light from one of those lamps. Bing. And it's just this very elaborate G. Like so.
No.
Wow. I'm surprised all the mafia references hadn't tipped you off
No,
yet.
I mean, I didn't want to assume.
I mean, there was a World of Darkness mafia source book one time, so, you know.
I didn't want to assume. I was
And yet here we
hoping
are.
against hope. Mm-hmm. And now I'm sad. Okay.
So he puts his hand out, you shake it, he clasps it with his other hand, his cold hand.
Right.
And he says, Lorenzo Putanesca,
Okay.
pleasure to meet your acquaintance, Aaron.
Okay. Now, am I getting a vibe like from Rothstein? Am I getting a Rothstein vibe?
No, this guy is definitely very old world, and
I mean, in terms of the vibe, like I'm just saying Giovanni vibe. Okay.
yeah,
Like Rothstein was Giovanni.
yes,
So was Paco, correct?
true, an offshoot, but
An
yes,
offshoot of
yes,
that,
yes,
right?
yes.
I'm just saying. I'm wondering if there are essences of these clans that are detectable.
I like that. Why don't you do an awareness perception roll? Let's see what
Okay.
comes up.
Perception. Because I feel like there'd be a vibe
Yeah,
as you're a vampire,
yeah,
like you are.
yeah.
What was the
6.
6? Okay. 2.
Yeah. There's kind of an air of death about him,
Yeah.
but not in a smelly way.
Right.
More like just meeting a mortician. I feel like meeting Giovanni is like meeting morticians, and it's like, I
Bless.
knew you were a mortician.
Bless.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
There's because some of them have a vibe, and it's not like a bad
No.
vibe. It's just a vibe
just
of like, this is what I interact with every day.
Yeah.
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 But sometimes you don't know.
Sometimes you don't know.
You have no
Exactly.
idea.
Exactly. But this guy is so Giovanni. That's why I was, because like I like the idea of that, and I think that the difficulty rating would change. So like Brunhilde, you knew she was a gangrel, but
Yeah.
if you're doing a perception plus awareness roll, she's so gangrel that I might even set the difficulty at like 3.
Yeah.
Whereas like someone who's a very atypical member of their clan, I don't know who that would be, but
Yeah.
just whatever.
Yeah.
Like Joaquin. Joaquin's a toreador.
Right.
But he's also a murder machine, which is
Right.
not something the toreador are known for.
Right.
So he might be difficulty 7 or even 8.
Because you can't really tell. But if I was to
Yeah.
interact with another Toreador, not Christopher,
Right. But like somebody who's much more typical.
where you would think there's that vibe,
Yeah.
that feeling you get.
Yeah.
I feel like it is supernatural.
Right.
It's like this is this strain of blood. This is the strain of
That's exactly it.
right ancestors that are like,
Right. Yeah. I like that.
coursing through your veins, like the OG,
The OG,
right?
yeah, that's right.
So then you're like, oh shoot, okay, know what I'm interacting with here, not
Yeah.
based on appearances, but based on the vibe, based on the
Right.
blood magic,
Right.
that is
exactly.
coursing through everyone's veins.
Yeah.
Okay,
The,
so
the OG, by the way, is usually they refer to it as the blank antediluvian, so it'd be like
Right.
the toreador antediluvian.
yes,
Right.
yes.
So that's the blood that you're sensing. So yeah, I like that.
It only
So
took how many
he's
chronicles for us to?
well, it's
But I think as he becomes more
evolving.
savvy,
Sure.
he's picking up on it
Yeah.
more. Like as you become more of a vampire, as the years go on,
that would be the other influence on the
you
difficulty number.
you start to
Yeah.
pick up on like there's a vibe.
Yeah. So like to a fledgling, Brunhilde might be difficulty 5 or 6.
Yeah.
But even that is like she's so gangrel that even a fledgling might be like,
I don't. Yeah.
You're
There's
one
something
of those,
weird. Yeah.
gangrel, aren't you? Yeah.
And now that he interacted with the Tremere, then he picks up on that vibe, and
Yeah, I think you would have to have interacted with them first.
yeah,
in order
absolutely,
to
yeah,
make
to
the
pick that
roll.
up. Yeah,
Yeah.
interesting.
Cool.
Okay,
All right, so
so he says he's Lorenzo,
and it's as
Puttanesca.
if he's reading your mind, although he isn't. But it's as if he's reading your mind.
I don't like that.
Where he says, I know you by reputation, and I thank you. Any enemy of Stromo is a friend of mine.
Shlomo.
If you are ever in Vegas again, look up my child, Dante Giovanni. He will make sure you are well taken care of.
I may take you up on that sooner than you think. And I look at Brunhilde.
Yeah, if you fucking let me.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. So, what are we all doing here?
We are awaiting the arrival of some other guests. They are not likely to arrive this evening, but most likely tomorrow night. In the meantime, please, you're a guest in my hall. And some men and women, all sort of equally dressed in black turtlenecks and black slacks, come forward.
What?
They all look like Calvin Klein models, you know.
Okay.
And then they just roll down their turtlenecks to expose their necks.
No, I couldn't possibly. I'm fine. Thank you, though.
Of course. And Brunhilde, meanwhile, just moves in on one of them, latches on, and Robert Eggers Nosferatu style, just starts just immediately, just pulling out blood by the gallon, and the blood doll drops, pint, drops to the ground, quite dead. And then she grabs another one and does the same thing. So just drinks these two blood dolls dry in less than a minute.
So I'm gonna say, what about the hunt?
She says, she's wiping the blood away daintily, and she says, sometimes practicalities must win out.
Why am I here?
You, my little soldier, are going to guard the sarcophagus at night. There are crypts below where you can sleep. I shall be here, as will my Valkyringe, and we shall help you. But I could not possibly, and she looks at Lorenzo, have agreed to keep this treasure under guard without one of my most treasured family members. And she gives you a little affectionate pat on the cheek.
I'm scared. So I'll say, well, who's guarding it during the day?
So Lorenzo says, well, that is my own responsibility. And he sort of nods at some of the ghouls nearby, There are quite a few more sort of posted up around the interior perimeter of the place.
And they'll just pack it. They're just like...
Yeah, a couple of them actually have literal assault rifles.
I was going to say, it's
again, Heat style.
Right.
The Heat homage.
Yeah, there's a Val Kilmer up there.
There is a Val Kilmer.
With a horrible ponytail.
Yeah, with a clip-on ponytail.
Wow. Okay, so I'll say I see you're prepared.
Oh, yes, indeed. Also, give me a perception plus empathy roll, please.
Okay. Perception plus empathy. Boom, 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 boom. What's the difficulty?
5.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
So, as Brunhilde had finished off the second of the blood dolls, you maybe glanced at Lorenzo very briefly, and you could see how pissed he was that she did that.
Yeah.
But he's not saying anything. Now give me a perception plus awareness roll, please. I don't mean to lean so hard on perception, but
look,
there's much noticing going on.
There's noticing. It's intriguing. I'm taking the lay of the land. Perception plus awareness this time, or alertness.
Correct.
Awareness. Okay. What's the difficulty?
4.
Nah, man, nah.
Nothing?
Nope.
That's crazy.
Isn't it? Isn't that funny? It was a 1 and a 9, and the rest were 2s and 3s.
That's amazing.
I know.
Okay. So,
It's awkward.
Yeah. You're surrounded by you're in the presence of an elder.
Yeah. Well, Brunhilde, but
Yeah,
also
that's
this
what I
dude.
mean.
Oh,
He may be an elder, but not by the same measure that she is.
right.
I mean, I don't think it's out of bounds for me to tell you, perhaps out of character, but I think even Aaron would sense this. Brunhilde is 2,000 years old.
That's the
So,
thing. I mean, that's why
she's technically a Methuselah, actually.
Right.
You know?
I know. It's scary.
Yeah.
That's why he's putting up with this bullshit.
Right. So, yeah, he might be an elder, but he's like only 300 years old.
Right. Which is really young compared.
And she's a Methuselah.
Which is
so
horrifying.
He's just like, sure,
whatever.
help yourself.
Kill two of my fucking...
Blood dolls grow on trees. Especially Giovanni blood dolls who are willing to put up with the excruciating bite or whatever.
They're into it.
Yeah, excruciating kiss, excuse me. Yeah, they're into it, exactly. But you have to find people who are into it.
And that's rare.
That's rare, yeah. It's like, what, am I going to take out an ad in LA Weekly? Jesus.
God damn it. So I could see him kind of grimacing, but trying to hide it.
Yeah, there's a slight grimace, yeah.
Yeah, oh, fuck.
Didn't mean kill them, okay.
So I might say that to her. Be like,
oh my God, you are the worst.
I'm not.
I know, you're a gangrel.
I'm there to like ask her.
You are a gangrel.
I'm there to ask questions.
I know.
And I just say, what the hell? You couldn't just leave a little behind?
She says, there may be trouble ahead. I need to make sure.
What trouble?
You will find out tomorrow night. Some old friends are going to be paying a visit.
Okay, I don't need the euphemisms. The prince knows.
She just turns around and walks away.
I have some information for you.
She puts a hand up like, save it.
So I'm going to go to Victoria.
Yeah.
Because she seems a bit annoyed.
Yeah.
So she might be on my side. Whereas Wanda and Agneta, they don't give a fuck.
Nah.
So with Victoria,
yeah,
they're like, hey.
But
we're in some deep shit here.
Tell me about it.
The prince knows.
I don't understand why we're fucking with this.
Why does she know these people?
I have no idea. This is where we brought the sarcophagus.
This is where she wanted to bring it?
After we boosted it, yes. She obviously had it arranged in advance.
All right, well, I'm going to tell you, since she doesn't want to listen to me. The prince knows. And he knows everything.
How?
So I'll just point to my head.
Oh, that's right. You got captured, didn't you?
Yeah. He has a, tremere?
Yes.
I don't know what this is, but it seemed like a witch or something.
What they are is very easy to kill. They're very squishy. Because remember, y'all killed Heinrich Himmler, a Tremere, back in '89. So
they did.
One of her proudest accomplishments, I'm sure.
It's true. I'll say that's all well and good, but she got into my head. I don't have a lot of.
There's not a lot up there.
There's not a lot up there, I'll say.
It's like an abandoned Kinney's.
Yeah. She would know that is.
Empty shoeboxes.
Yeah. But I'll just say,
yes.
She got into my head. And so she was able to pull memories out of my brain.
I will tell Wanda.
Yeah. Brunhilde doesn't want to know about this, but she should know. They might be able to track me, is what I'm saying.
Perhaps Brunhilde is not afraid of the prince.
Well, I tried to go after him myself, but it didn't work very well. It was enough to help you get away.
Yes, but this is Brunhilde we're talking about. She's very powerful.
So I instantly flash back to her claws into my neck muscles. And I will reflexively touch my neck.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah.
Then why are we waiting here? Where does she want to take this ultimately?
I have no idea. She's not telling us. Perhaps for our own protection, as you have discovered.
Fine. Where are we going to sleep? In crypts? I don't really like that.
There are crypts downstairs. I will show you.
All right.
So she takes you around through a door next to the altar and, leads to some old wooden stairs, creaky. leading down, the more of these lights have been set up.
I hate it. I hate this.
Yeah, it smells very musty.
Yeah, I hate it because I just feel like we're trapped.
And you can actually see like the cracks in the foundation from the earthquake.
Yeah, yeah, like damage from the earthquake.
Yeah.
I
which you don't know about.
No, I don't. I may have felt a disturbance,
yeah,
but
you're like, it's like I'm on a waterbed.
So I'll say, like, I don't really like sleeping in these types of places.
Yes, but it is lightless and safe.
I don't know how safe it is because I'm flashing back to so many things like that I've seen and heard about, and in terms of just like hunters, like, aren't you worried about hunters?
No. I've dealt with a few of those fools before. They are always in over their head.
Not the one that I know about. Because I don't know where Amy is,
Right.
I mean, like...
It's like Bjork. When you don't know where she is, that's when you should worry the most.
Yeah, pretty much. It's true. So, I'll say, well, not the one that I know about.
All right. Well, she says, she shrugs and says, oh, certainly there are some that are very powerful, but they are few and far between. And most of them are in the old world anyway. And she's kind of like teasing you a little bit. Mm-hmm. Gives you a little impish smile.
What's that supposed to mean?
You've never been to Europe. You wouldn't know. The vampires there, they make your elders look like tiddlywinks.
Does she know about tiddlywinks?
Yeah, she was embraced when she was like 20 in like 1987. Like
tiddlywinks. I'm not here to compete. I just want to keep living my dumbass life. All right. So, the sooner we get this over with, the better for me. And y'all can go back to the old world where you're happy with your vampire hunters and like doing all that shit.
I can't wait.
Me neither. And so I'm feeling myself getting heavier.
Yeah.
Like I'm feeling the sun is starting to like get
approach the
closer.
horizon.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm gonna like brush off the dust from something and
a little
corner
beer.
Yeah, beer somewhere and just be like, all right, I guess I'll just be here.
Stretch out here.
All right.
So of course this is the world of darkness. So the crypts below the LA Cathedral are like totally huge, and they have all these like tombs.
Yeah. Well, wouldn't they ever move the bodies before?
You moved the church, but you didn't move the bodies. Well, yeah, exactly. So in fact, like there's a bunch of open beers for you to stretch out on because the sarcophagi that were on top of them have been moved. Okay. The tombs are empty. Yeah. Okay. Etc.
All right.
So
are there rats or bats or?
Thankfully, no sign of rodentia.
Okay. Just curious what the pest situation was like.
Yes. What I'm saying though is it's quite cavernous. So as all the different kindreds filter down and sort of fan out to find their various resting places,
So I'm gonna send out another message to Christopher. It might like I'm praying to Elmo or something, but
where's Elmo? She doesn't even know who Elmo is.
We've never introduced her to Elmo. All right, I'm gonna just try to
make a perception plus awareness roll again,
God,
please.
Please, God, please let Christopher.
Actually, let's do charisma.
Why am I praying for his dumbass?
Plus awareness.
I can't use disarming. I'm not using disarming.
No. Oh, Christopher.
Jesus. What's the
difficulty 4?
1, 2, 3. So I just say I'm at the Basilica or St. Vibiana's, right?
Yeah.
How do you spell that? Vibiana?
Vibiana.
Yeah. That's what I thought. I'm at St. Vibiana's. The sarcophagus is here. Brunhilde is here.
So, as you're drifting off into your slumber, you hear a voice in your head.
Yes!
And it just says, I want to show you something.
Oh.
something.
Oh.
Okay, so
Wait, what? Do I get
you
a
are
dream?
having a dream.
Yes! Bring it on. Give me another character. Give me another
Yes,
character to play.
indeed.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
Here you
Yes! Oh my god. Is this what you're working on? What? You're like, this guy's coming out regardless.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you trust me with this.
Of course I do.
Oh, that is so sweet. Okay. We have Cesar Berganza, aka Lucky.
Mm-hmm.
Lucky Cesar. Nature Bravo, Demeanor Chameleon. Miguel Angel Martinez was his sire.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit. Pharmacy. Okay, so I was born in 1852.
Uh-huh.
Apparent age is 40. I died in 1892. Became a vampire, right?
Oh, yes.
Or I was a ghoul.
You were Gould. Yeah,
I was
you were
Gould for a while.
Gould for a while, and then
And
I think
then-
the embrace was 92.
Yeah,
if
it was.
I recall.
Yeah. White Hispanic male, brown hair, brown eyes, 5'9", 150.
Kind of looks like Fred Ward.
Fred Ward.
Mm-hmm.
Mexico City. Oh damn, dude, this is good. We're gonna get back to him.
I know.
Don't
I
worry.
know. Now, you never did set up an obsidian portal for the Chronicle,
No,
so
I
I'm
hadn't
gonna have
gotten
to
to
ask
that
you a
point
couple details.
That's fine.
If you remember them.
He has
I
a
don't know.
trademark whistle.
Mm-hmm.
Very creepy mommy issues here.
Yes. Virgin horror issues.
Definitely,
all that kind of stuff.
definitely weird shit here.
Yep. He's a creep.
He's a creep. He likes to. He doesn't have. He likes to drug his victims.
Yes.
Before drinking blood from them because
And
the
has
excruciating.
developed a morphine addiction as a result.
He does have a morphine dependency.
Yes. Thank you.
Damn. He's insightful.
Mm-hmm.
And he has wits, changes in strategy. He can change his strategy very quickly.
Mm.
He's also on the sepulchre path, witness of death, and can summon souls. Difficulty, neonate social vampiric knowledge, self-control. Oh, a presence of innocence. Lawman's friend, former ghoul, lucky. He is lucky. Thirst for innocence, addiction, sleeping with the enemy. So what's sleeping with the enemy?
Oh, I don't know if we had dialed that in quite yet. It was building. And
Oh, right.
Remember, it was at the Drazzle sisters party, and he met that kind of hot babe.
Yeah, hot babe.
Who reminded him of his old obsessions.
Paloma.
But I think the basic idea is that you are involved with kindred from a rival sect. So
Right. Okay.
So I think
Yeah, we're building on that.
He had some issues with the prince, Don Sebastian.
Don Sebastian.
But also sometimes did work for him.
Yeah.
So it was a kind of a contentious relationship.
Yes.
And so you are in the body and the mentality and the personification of this other vampire suddenly. Mm-hmm. You are experiencing it, unlike the illusion that Elliot wove,
Yeah.
which was just strictly superficial. Mm-hmm. Unlike Ombeline getting into your head, this is just like, oh, I'm this other person.
Yeah.
The year is 1998. Everybody's talking about VR. It's kind of like that. It's a virtual reality.
Okay. All right.
But you are standing in a very grand, sort of mission-style Spanish hall.
Okay.
Just the Romanesque arch, portico outside, and like the big vaulted ceiling with the cross beams and the wrought iron chandeliers every
Wooden floor.
30 feet or so. Actually, here it's a tile floor.
The tiles. Okay.
Saltillo tiles.
All right.
And decorated in that style. So there's some like potted, sort of fern-like or ficus kind of plants. Little nichos, with like some.
Is it a church?
No.
Okay.
It's church-like, okay, but it's more like hacienda. It's It's like a hacienda
Hacienda,
style
okay.
place. And there's like actual like antique 18th century Spanish chairs and side tables set up along the wall, right? But the floor is mostly open, and there's a bunch of people standing around.
It's night.
It is night, absolutely. So the chandeliers are burning, and everybody's dressed in. So it's sort of like Aaron's consciousness is in here as well.
Yeah.
So Aaron's like, oh, it looks like an old movie.
Yeah.
Because everybody's wearing like 1940s era garb.
Okay.
So there's neat suits for the men.
Okay.
The women have knee-length skirts gathered in at the waist with little shoulder wings, right? And their hair is like kind of done up in this. I have no idea.
Victory rolls.
Victory rolls. Thank you. And there's, folks of varying apparent age, apparent ethnicities, a lot of, sort of Hispanic looking folks, but also a lot of white folk. And let's see. Everyone's just kind of standing around seemingly expectantly. There's an air of expectation.
Okay.
And there's some, there's even a little bit of laughter. So it's a sort of jovial, expectant mood. And so you see this guy, and he's sort of like the center of attention.
Okay.
And he's this sort of big, very big in every sense of the word. He's a big guy, but he's also like his personality is very big, And he's got this little waxed mustache, and like his hair is like perfectly coiffed.
Okay.
And and he's saying like, don't worry, I'm sure it'll be any moment now. Ah, yes, here they come. And so in through the sort of courtyard doors, a couple of the, ghoul standing guard pull the doors open. And these two kindred come in, dragging a third guy between them. His legs just, dragging along the floor. He's completely inert. And you can see that although he's wearing like slacks, his feet are bare, and he's not wearing anything above the waist.
Okay.
No, not even an undershirt or anything. And he has a stake sticking out of his chest. And
does he look pale?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they walk in, and this guy who Lucky knows is Don Sebastian says, "Oh, now did you really have to go and stake him?"
The big guy with the mustache?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And so one of the guys just says, "He put up quite a fight, my prince." And you can see that the dude has like half of his cheek hanging off,
Yeah.
And Don Sebastian is like, "Well, you did a good job. Make sure to get some blood and heal that up. It looks pretty nasty. But first, pull the stake out. I want to talk to Mr. McNeil."
Oh, shit. Wait a minute.
So.
Wait, okay.
Yes. What?
Yeah, I'm just trying to wrap my head around everything.
Okay.
Okay.
So they pull the stake out and drop him kind of simultaneously. They use the gravity to, they grab the stake, drop him, and the stake pops out.
Yeah.
And then they like take a couple steps back.
Yeah.
He lands on the ground and immediately is like, oh, and then he like looks around. And then he looks up at Don Sebastian, and he says, I could have just come and talked to you. You could have just extended an invitation rather than sending your fucking goons after me." And so
I feel myself smirk when he says that, like as Lucky.
Yeah.
Like kind of smirk about it.
Yeah. So Don Sebastian, they've locked eyes, and there's a moment, and then Jeremy just kind of sits back and he's quiet. And
with his cheek still kind of like flappy flap.
Oh no, that was one of the goons.
Oh.
Right.
Oh.
Now Jeremy looks like he got the shit beat out of him.
Okay. Yeah. Well, the first time of many.
Yes. So so Don Sebastian says, "That's better. Now we know you won't cause any trouble." And Jeremy has a kind of hollow look on his face, so you can infer what just happened.
Maybe not.
Okay. Do me a perception plus occult roll.
4. 3, 7.
Okay. Difficulty 5.
Okay. One. Oh, no. 2.
Okay. He probably dominated him.
Okay.
Or used some other kind of mind control power
Okay.
on him.
Okay.
Yep. So, Don Sebastian puts his hands behind his back and he starts to sort of walk in a circle around where Jeremy's sitting in a kneeling position. And he just says, "You've been causing an awful lot of trouble lately, Mr. McNeil. As you know, I'm very tolerant of any type of kindred who wishes to come to my domain. I have an open door policy, and I feel that just because one associates with the Anarchs does not in any way paint them in a negative light. However, a man's actions define him. And you, my little rebellious friend," and he puts his fingers in Jeremy's hair,
Oh.
and he pulls his head back as if he's gonna, like, and his fangs are out. "You just don't know when to stop." And he, like, throws his face down onto the floor, and it hits with this, like, sickening crack.
Oh.
And he says, "Forgive me. There I go again, losing my temper." And everyone else is, like, standing around kind of smirking as well, but they're kind of like enjoying this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he says, he comes back around to the front and he says, "I'll forgive you though, if you show me the proper amount of deference." And Jeremy has, like, sat back up and he says, "Bow to me." And Jeremy just, like, with obviously struggling against himself, just hurls his face forward into the ground again, and there's, like, crack, and his nose is flattened and blood's just streaming down. And he says, "I don't think you mean it. Bow to me again." And Jeremy, like, does it again.
Oh my
And he does it, like,
God.
6 more times.
Oh,
until his
Jesus.
face is just, like, absolutely ruined.
Yeah. Pulp.
Yeah. And then he says, "There now. I think you finally mean it. Get out of here. If I see you again, you will suffer the final death. I'll have you staked out for the sun." And Jeremy just gets up and, like, stumbles out. And everyone's like, "Good
Clapping.
Good job." And he's like, "Never let it be said that I am not a magnanimous prince."
All right.
So, how are you feeling about all that?
The Aaron part of me is, like, going, like, oh shit, like, that's fucked up. But also, like, why didn't Jeremy fight back?
Right.
Like, how powerful is this guy?
Pretty humiliating.
It is very humiliating. And, like, so yeah, so then I'm just looking around the room at everyone else, and everyone else is into it, know. They're all loving it.
Yeah.
And my, whatever I'm driving around, I might go to, like, look at myself in the mirror
Yeah.
to see
Yeah.
like who I am.
Yeah, there's this old, like, colonial Spanish style mirror with, like, the hammered tin frame around it,
So I see myself.
Yeah.
Like, see the face.
You're a handsome guy. Okay. Dapper Dan. No, you do look good, though. You're put
And,
together.
yeah.
Got a nice suit on.
Yeah, so I just straighten up my suit, my tie, and everything, and so I'm gonna walk up to the prince,
Yeah.
and just say, "It's quite the show."
Well, you know the trouble they've been causing lately. That's why I instigated these riots that are going on right now.
So I just nod, True.
It's a shame I had to turn the LAPD on the local Hispanic population, being one myself, of course. But it's the only way to get through to these anarchs. Gave us enough cover.
So I'll nod. And so
I think with this McNeil's will broken now, we won't have to worry about them anymore.
I don't know.
What do you mean?
People have a way of turning up like bad pennies.
Yes, I know the feeling, he says, looking at you very pointedly. Be gone.
I smile, yeah.
Yeah.
And I walk away.
All right. So
I'm whistling as I walk away.
Yeah. Do 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 do. Your distinctive whistle. I never did figure out what that was.
Oh, I thought it was.
Oh,
I want a girl just like the girl that married your old dad.
That's right. That's right. Oh,
So
God.
creepy.
Yikes. All right. So that's what you go off whistling.
Boop, 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 boop.
That's right.
Yep.
Iris out. It actually literally irises out.
Nice.
And then it irises back out, in, or whatever.
Yeah.
Iris is in and then
Yeah.
back out. There we go.
Woo.
It is...
Like a silent movie.
Exactly. So it is sometimes...
Although it's the 40s,
It
right?
is the 40s, but, they were still using irises
Yeah,
for
not
scene
as,
transitions.
not as much.
But Lucky he's an old-fashioned
He's
guy.
old-fashioned, yeah.
So, or whoever is controlling this vision. Anyway, so you know that it is a few weeks later. In fact, it is the winter solstice.
Oh.
So, of course, the winter solstice in Los Angeles means everything is very green and lush. You've been getting some good rains, brought out all the grass and the winter.
It's damp.
It's damp. Now, of course,
This is
the
pre-climate change. but
deciduous trees have lost their leaves.
Deciduous leaves are leafless, but everything is fairly green
Fairly
and
green. The grasses are
damp.
green and
Yeah.
damp. On this particular night, it's chilly. There's a moon out, painting everything in a silvery light. As you walk up towards the front of a house, it's in Glendale. And it's one of these houses that was built in the 20s that, again, is this kind of Spanish style with the white plaster and the red tile roof and the little, tower, is like
Yeah.
the entryway.
Yeah.
Now, here's where I need your help.
Oh, no.
Who would be, like, a high-level Camarilla kindred in LA in the 40s? Like maybe one of the Primogens or just a, kind of influential character.
I'm feeling like the Vines.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
I'm feeling like the Vines would be Camarilla adjacent.
Okay, so then we'll say
And they would have a
Pasadena
place in
instead.
Pasadena,
Yeah.
near Glendale.
Yeah.
And they would be a gathering place and a hub, I mean, eventually they become obsolete, as we learn.
Yes.
We see their
Yes.
end point. But
I love that. Okay.
it would be them.
Okay.
Because they would be, I think, counted upon to be a reliable place
Yeah.
or people to meet,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
They had some power and influence.
Oh
you know?
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, in fact, they were big movers and shakers
Yeah.
at the time.
Yeah.
It was Aaron found out about them when they were much reduced.
Yeah.
Because they kind of switched sides
Yeah.
at the last minute,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
They're like, no, anarchs are great.
They're
And
really
like-
cool,
they're like,
everybody.
all
Oh,
right.
fine.
Fine.
Yeah.
But then they just kind of went into basically retirement, essentially. They're like, you can have Pasadena. We don't give a shit.
Yeah. We're just going to live our lives.
Jack Parsons is a mage, so we're going to just let him fuck around out there.
All right. That's right.
Anyway, so, okay, so you're visiting the Vines.
Which I would recognize them.
Yes.
And
as
it's
Aaron
almost
as well,
like, whoa,
yeah.
they're so vibrant and
Right.
powerful and
Yeah, the house is all lit up.
Yeah.
And,
it's a party atmosphere.
it is a party. Yeah, there's several people there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can hear the chatter and the clinking of fluted glasses and whatnot. And I'm just trying to
Records
remember. Yeah, there's a little Victrola in the corner. So you ring the bell, and let's see. Yeah, it was Henry Waters.
Yeah, the butler.
The butler answers the door. He knows you. You know that you're here as part of an ongoing investigation. You're on a case.
Okay.
And you need to come talk to the Vines.
Yeah, and they're having a party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
action.
Yeah. And see.
Actually, yeah. I'm even going to say you hear a clapboard in the background.
I love it. I love that.
It's like, the fuck was that?
The
All right, anyway,
hell?
hi.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So Henry says, right this way, Mr. Berganza.
I nod. I take my hat off.
He takes your hat. You head in, and you see some of the usual suspects lingering about. There's some blood dolls there. People have their champagne flutes with the blood in it, know. And Edward,
Yeah.
I wanna say. Yeah, so Edward sees you and comes over and and says, hello, Lucky. What can I do for you? Back to ask me more uncomfortable questions?
You know it. Smile.
Very well, very well. Can I offer you a bite to eat before we begin?
Oh, I couldn't, ask
Vera,
that.
I will be just a moment. I'm going to take Mr. Berganza into the study.
Okay. And I nod at Vera.
She nods back to you. And so you walk into the study, and it's got the two sliding doors, which he closes behind him.
Dude, can Rafe be there? Rafe's in the mix.
Oh, at the party?
Yeah,
definitely.
Oh God, creepy.
Sir Rafe.
I see that. I think Aaron sees that and is like terrified.
Yeah,
Scared.
So he slides the doors shut behind him, and it immediately like cuts out the noise of the party.
Okay.
And he says, now I feel like I've told you everything there is to say, but I certainly don't want to end up on the prince's bad side either. So
Of course not.
here,
He's just wondering.
Yes, of course. I think I had something over here, and he heads over to his little roll top desk, and then he turns around and he's like holding a revolver in his hand. In like the film noir style, where it's like directly in front of his solar plexus,
Exactly.
And he says,
Sorry, I just love it. I just love it so much.
Yeah.
Okay, so I put my hands up and say, Mr. Vines, it doesn't have to come to this.
And
we're not threatening your way of life.
and he says, I'm afraid it's far past that point. Now we shall see how lucky you really are. And at that very moment, you see like some headlights cross the window of the study, and you can hear like some shouting. And then suddenly Vera like throws the doors open, and she says, Edward, they're here. It's a truck full of anarchs. They have weapons. Edward, I'm scared. And then you hear the door like starting to like pound, and they're like, we know you're in there, you bastards, and then like a window smashes.
Oh shit!
And Edward looks around, and then he looks at you, and he says, "Go back to Sebastian's hacienda and tell him what's happening."
Maybe I will. Maybe I won't.
If you go now, I'll forget everything.
So
I'll tell you everything you need to know.
All right.
I know who did it.
Okay. Fine. So I'll rush over and
All right. So Vera stops you, and she says, "Out this way."
Okay. I need my hat.
There's no time.
Okay. So I'm going to run.
Suspect is hatless. I repeat, hatless.
So I'm going to run out and get into my car and...
Your jalopnik.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
so
go to the closest payphone.
Right. Okay. So you so you run down along like the side drive, and you can see indeed there's like two kind of like farm trucks, like panel trucks, like the kind that had the wooden slatted sides on the bed. And you see a bunch of kindred, mostly guys, but some gals too. And they all have they have baseball bats wrapped with barbed wire.
Oh, Jesus.
And a couple of them, have Tommy guns and, machetes and all kinds, they're there to kill basically.
Okay. Right.
And a couple of them are, unloading some Molotov cocktails out of the back of the truck. So.
Oh my God.
Payphone or?
Yeah.
Okay. So you run down the street, or you drive down the street rather, for a ways, and then you see a phone booth. You jump out, drop your dime, dial the prince's number, and it just rings.
Okay.
What do you want to do?
Get out, and then I'm gonna just get back in the car and just drive to the prince's house. I thought I would try. I mean,
sure, no, absolutely. So you drive out to the old hacienda. Even as you're approaching, you can tell things are a little different. For one thing, most of the lights are off. There are some lights on. And at the foot of the drive, he always has like a guy manning the guard booth. But now there's like 5 guys. And they look like some of his tougher enforcers. The sheriff is there, etc. So...
the sheriff.
Yeah.
She's
yes, right. Who was she?
Forget her name.
Yeah, but the sheriff. And so she puts her hand up as you approach, and she says, What brings you out here tonight, Lucky?
The Anarchs are rampaging on the Vines mansion. So.
Yeah, it's all over the city, actually.
What?
Hey, come on in here. You'll be safe here. We got a whole army here.
But they need help up there.
Yeah, Don Sebastian is on it.
Mr. Vine said he could tell me some more information.
Well, if he survives the night.
That's not as important as...
No, it's not. They're making their move right now. It's that Salvador guy.
Salvador.
Yeah, he's some Catalonian revolutionary who came in here and got Jeremy McNeil's ear. The two of them have been plotting this for weeks, I'm sure.
All right, where do we go?
Just drive up the drive and head in through the front.
Okay. So, I'm going.
All right. So you walk in, and Don Sebastian is once again the center of attention. It's a sort of mixed group. There's some neonates, there's some elders. Everyone looks very worried, and he's in the midst of saying, "Tonight there are no crimes, no violations. Do what you must to protect the Camarilla's place in Los Angeles. You have my permission. A city-wide blood hunt. I want every last anarch dead. I want Salvador Garcia's
Burnt
head.
to the ground.
I want them dead. I want their house burnt to the ground. I want Salvador Garcia's head on a fucking platter. Is that clear?" And everyone's like, "Yes, of course." Mm-hmm. And you're standing in the entryway.
Yeah.
And then suddenly you're aware of someone walking past you very calmly.
I look.
You look down. It's this little golden-haired child. And he's just walking in. And everyone looks over.
It's almost like spotlit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. He's actually glowing a bit.
Yeah. Oh.
And everybody looks
I feel
around.
like it's slow motion.
Yeah,
too. Like,
absolutely.
what the
What
heck?
the hell?
Yeah.
And it's very clear that nobody recognizes him except Don Sebastian.
Oh.
And he goes, Christopher. And Christopher just kind of stands there.
We know all your secrets.
Basically. And then he says, Salvador Garcia is on his way right now to kill you. Are you aware of this? And Don Sebastian says, I am, but he's not going to succeed. And Christopher says, no, he isn't, because we're going to kill you first. And then suddenly the doors slam shut behind you, and Joaquin just like drops out of fucking nowhere. And in like an instant, Don Sebastian's head's just like rolling across the floor. And then suddenly Christopher's in amongst these elders, and he's just fucking them up.
Tearing them apart.
Just tearing them apart. What do you do?
Scrambling, backing up against the door.
Yep.
Like backing up against the doors that close behind me, where I'm like trying to like get the knob. Like,
so there's these like screams. It's just the whole place suddenly like echoing, filling with screams, blood, rending sounds.
I'm like, I have my hand on the knob. I'm like turning it. Is it opening or?
It's bolted shut.
I look for a window.
Okay, there's a window.
So I run.
Give me a dexterity plus athletics roll, please.
My God. Oh, wow. You are really not great in that, are you?
Hey, now. You can spend a willpower.
I will.
Okay. So that's an auto success.
Okay, so 1 success. Okay.
Difficulty 6.
No.
Yeah. All right, so the window is barred, but in your, like... actually, give me a self-control roll, too.
Okay. Okay.
And I'll say you're in
4.
danger, so 6.
2.
Okay, so you're not frenzying,
No.
but in your desperation to get out, you just like, there's these like wrought iron bars on the window, so you just kick the glass out and then just sort of like force yourself through the bars.
Yeah.
And you can hear a couple bones cracking.
Bones cracking, buttons, fabric tearing,
Yeah,
bones.
your
I
vest
just
gets
know I
ripped
have to get out of here.
You're hatless, and now your vest has been ripped open.
Hatless, vestless. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
So you go like running down the
Shreds.
hill, even as you can see. So you're like running through some like garden vegetation,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You can see the sheriff lying dead on the drive. Whatever other guards were there are gone now. And you just go tearing out of there. And as you're running down the drive, you see more cars and trucks coming up. And they slow to a stop as they see you.
Oh.
And you see this handsome Spanish man, you know, and he leans out the passenger window, and he says, "You there? Is the prince at home?"
I just shake my head. He's long gone.
What happened to him?
Go see for yourself. And I run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can hear Salvador telling everyone else, like, just wait here. I'll take care of this.
Okay.
And then the dream
Round of applause.
Yay.
So good. So good.
Thank you all.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, almost. Leapfrogged over there. Oh, it's missing a page.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Well, I'll have to remember this episode to refer to.
Indeed. Fun fact, in the official lore, in Los Angeles by Night, it's a Malkavian who tells Salvador that a, quote, golden-haired demon appeared.
There could still be one. There could be a Malkavian hanging out who observed it, right?
What I like is that in the telling, it turned into a Malkavian, right? Like that's what it's like maybe you were mistaken for a Malkavian because you look so crazed, or
clothes being all shredded,
right? Exactly, yeah.
But I also like the idea. I mean, he didn't say anything.
Yeah.
But I could picture them piecing it all together.
Right, exactly.
That maybe some of the last words of some of these expiring vampires are like, it was a demon, a golden-haired demon.
And
like
then it turns into...
Yeah.
That's what this Malkavian said.
Yeah.
I like that sort of game of telephone.
Very good.
But basically it says that Salvador was the only one who knew what happened except for this Malkavian. And then in LA by Night, it says he has subsequently disappeared. So I like that since we started the chronicle with Lucky's death.
Eventually, they're going to catch up to him.
Yeah,
because he's the one who knows.
By the way, at the top of the tower at St. Viviana's.
There we go.
All comes together.
Fascinating.
Yes.
Again, none of this is intentional. We just kind of stumbled into all these.
Absolutely.
Stumbling into all this. Okay.
All right. So
suddenly I'm like, I have my eyes open.
Yeah.
I'm back in this crypt.
Yes.
I feel like I've traveled the world and elsewhere. And so Christopher wanted to show me that. Why?
Yeah, why? Why indeed? So Aaron.
But then I'm like, oh, Christopher's still around.
Yeah. So that the lore of the Anarchs.
Yeah.
This is like the founding. This is like if you traveled back in time and saw what really happened at this Second Continental Congress or whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like this is the lore of the founding of the Anarch States, that Jeremy was beaten by Don Sebastian. Now, it's never been revealed that he was humiliated to that extent. Right. It was always just like, oh, he had me beaten. Yeah. Not that like he humiliated me in front of like the Primogen Council. Right. B, the other piece, and this is the story Salvador always told, was, well, I went in there because, there was some like weird disturbance going on, and I found Don Sebastian and I killed him. Right. And that was the official story. But And like when the rest of his crew came in and they found all the body parts everywhere and the blood everywhere, they just assumed that Salvador did that, So anyway, now you know the truth.
Now I know the truth, and I know that it can be possible to disrupt things that might seem inevitable.
True. You have the power.
That there always has to be a prince, or that there always has to be an elder who's calling the shots.
Yep, and dominating people into doing things and all that. Yes, indeed.
Don't make me kill my own grandsire.
I would never. You don't even stand a chance. All right. So, you have awoken. You have a decent humanity, 6, right? So you're waking up around the same time as some of the younger kindred, and gradually everybody rises. And finally, Putanesca comes around, and he says, let's go up and make ready for our guests.
What guests are we expecting tonight,
Many.
Mr. Putanesca?
Many illustrious leaders of the kindred community.
Well, is the prince coming around? Because he's had his eye on this.
I know he has. And perhaps he will. And perhaps we will cut a deal.
You're doing that very good, by the way.
Thank you.
So I just nod, you know. I did reduce my blood point by 1.
Oh,
by the way.
thank you.
Okay, but I still have quite a lot of blood.
Excellent.
So I'll say, yeah, I hope you're right. I think the sooner we get this settled, the better. We can go back to the things we like to do.
What do you like to do, Mr. Evans?
I don't really know. I've been away for a while, so I'm just learning the lay of the land again.
Well, I'm always in need of good muscle.
Duly noted.
Your grandsire speaks very highly of you. Very highly indeed.
I am surprised by that. But it's nice to hear.
All right, so you head back up these creaky steps, and come out into the cathedral, and yeah, gradually everybody comes up there, and you know, Brunhilde just directs you and the Valkyries to kind of, you know, just stay in the proximity of the sarcophagus, make sure nothing untoward happens, and after about an hour, just everyone's just kind of waiting around.
Yeah.
It's very boring.
Yeah.
Finally, one of these ghouls comes in and he says, he's here, Mr. Putneska. And the man nods and says, well, show him in. And a couple minutes later, in walks Jeremy McNeil. Except he has a woman with him. You've never seen her before.
I haven't.
But she's quite beautiful. She has kind of heavy eyes and long dark hair. And she's wearing a kind of sensible outfit, right? You know, just like a sweater and sort of women's slacks, you know, and flats, you know. And he as well is dressed, you know, somewhat casually. He's got a leather bomber jacket on and a open button shirt underneath, and then like a white undershirt under that, jeans, and like cowboy boots, you know. And he's got his like, you know, sort of mullety long hair, you know, and like these sort of very artful, stringy, you know, cascades, right? And his big jawline, and you know, it's like it's the thing about vampires. It's like, oh yeah, even though it's been years since I've seen you, you look exactly the same, right? So there's no mistaking you. And he sees you, and there's a moment of recognition, of course, but you're probably the only person in here that he recognizes.
Okay.
You know. So he's looking around, and Putneska goes over and does his little "so good to meet you" kind of thing, you know. And he's like, "All right."
Do I overhear the woman? Like, does the woman introduce herself?
Yes. So he introduces her actually, and he says, "This is my compatriot Marguerite."
Yeah.
And she, you know, she's like, "Enchanté."
Yeah.
Right.
Dark brown hair, brown eyes.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, it's very Gallic beauty. And Putneska says, your reputation precedes you, madam. Welcome back to Los Angeles. And she says, it has been too long. So McNeil looks around and he says, well, did we beat the prince here then?
Shit. I think to myself.
Yeah, just from on to the side. Shit. And Putneska nods and he says, he is probably meeting the other prince at the airport. So
Other prince, I
it may
think.
be a bit. Please make yourselves at home. You are my guests. And again, the surviving blood dolls come forward looking a little trepidatious.
So now I'm thinking about the dream. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking, all these elders are gathering here. Mm. And, I look at Brunhilde
Yeah.
all of a sudden.
So she's been kind of, hanging back. She's, over in one of these niches, and just kind of watching. She's got her arms folded, and she's leaning against a pillar, just watching everything.
And I'm like, oh, no. Oh no, it's happening again.
It's like Kill Bill, the the shootout at Five Pines or whatever the hell it's called.
I'm just like, oh no, so I'm just looking around the building for escape hatches,
escape hatches.
I'm like
maybe that's why Christopher showed me that vision.
Yeah,
you might have to run for your own life.
Yeah, exactly. I'm looking around uneasy.
Yeah. Okay. It's a church, so I mean, you could parkour your way out of there. There's a big rosette window right above you.
Right,
if you want to be super dramatic, if you want to be super John Woo about it,
just somehow leap up into that window.
Yeah, just smash through it. Mm-hmm. But no, I mean, there's other exits. Of course, they're all boarded up, but for a strong, strapping young lad like yourself, spend some blood points and go bursting through.
All right, so I'm just what am I gonna see here?
Yeah. So, true to Putinesca's estimate, about an hour later, the guard announces, the rest of them are here, boss, And so, in comes a veritable procession. LaCroix walking in first, followed by his brick shithouse of a sheriff,
yeah.
Who this time, rather ludicrously,
what?
has a claymore strapped to his back.
What?
Mm-hmm. An extra big one, in fact. It's there's actually a two-handed, a Zweihander, on display in a museum in Germany that was commissioned by, I don't know, Emperor Maximilian or one of these guys.
Okay.
And it is literally I think it's 8 feet long
what?
or something.
How do you even wield that?
You don't. It was intended to be ceremonial, But in this case, he could.
He could wield it.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It would be just swinging a helicopter blade around.
Basically, yeah. Okay, so I'm just what the fuck?
This time he came prepared.
Yeah.
Let's see who else is with him. You see Ombeline, of course.
Oh God, no.
You see a rat-faced Nosferatu in a sort of tattered crinolines.
Oh, this is the one I saw on the boat.
Indeed.
Oh shit.
And then a few other younger kindred that are just part of the party.
Entourage.
And then swanning in behind them all is your old pal, the Prince of San Diego, Tara. Ooh, what a treat, what a dream. So, yep.
Oh, there she is. How does she look?
Great.
Yeah.
Bigger bodied African American woman. She's wearing a burgundy silk blouse with some just slacks and pumps, and then she's got this very stylish maybe designer leather jacket over all that.
And her hair?
I don't know, what was her hair?
I mean, I think she would do her hair differently.
She does it differently.
Yeah,
all the
I mean,
time.
she probably has braids.
Yeah.
Put in extensions.
Yeah,
and,
braids, extensions. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and then it's half up, half down.
Yeah.
So the braids are half up.
Yeah.
Tied with
in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, So introductions are made.
Is Sinbad anywhere nearby?
No, thankfully.
I thought maybe she ghouled Sinbad and then...
No, Sinbad got away clean.
Thank God.
Protect Sinbad at all costs.
Basically. All right.
But perhaps the downturn in his career is owed to,
pissing off the kindred.
Pissing off the canines. Yeah.
All right. So So Tara's there. Does she have a sheriff and like a...
She just has a couple of, entourage with her as
Okay.
well. So it's a good, almost a dozen or so.
Is Louis anywhere around?
No sign of Louis.
Is he still alive, I wonder?
Indeed.
I see Tara and I'm like instantly, like again, terrified
Yes.
by Tara.
Terrified.
I'm just like, oh shit.
And as everyone's being introduced, she spots you. And she blows you a little kiss. And so Putinesca steps back.
I grab it out of the air.
Love that.
Yeah.
So Putinesca, turns to address everybody. And he says, I thank you so much for coming out. Here we are in Elysium. There is to be no violence. And he looks pointedly at the sheriff. No blood shall be spilled tonight. We are here to work out ownership of this remarkable relic. So,
Shit.
the debates begin. Now, your role...
Boring.
Yeah, exactly. Sadly, Vampire the Masquerade does not have council rules. However, I
That's
figured...
weird. You'd
yeah.
think that they would.
It's really funny. I guess 5th edition does have a social combat mechanic, but based on my Googling, it's people are kind of like, it doesn't work too well.
Yeah.
Because basically it's like you force the other person to cede willpower to you.
Oh.
And so it's like whoever loses their willpower first basically has to like cave in.
Okay.
I don't know. Anyway, but I did Google like Masquerade social combat mechanics, and people are just like manipulation plus expression,
Right.
So I figured the
All right.
way that we could have you involved in all this is as the hero of your own story, you can contribute to the dice pools in whatever way you want. So I'm gonna sum up these debates that
arguments
that are gonna last most of the night
Oh my god.
because they're vampires and
Right.
they love to argue.
They love talking.
Here's the thing: we have 3 factions, each of whom wants the sarcophagus.
What's Brunhilde doing?
She's watching, but
She's not okay.
she's one of the factions.
Okay.
So at a certain point, she does come out. She waits for everyone else to make their arguments, and then she comes out.
So tell me what the factions are.
Okay, so first and foremost is Prince LaCroix. With Tara's backing,
Oh.
they both want the sarcophagus because they think it's a fraud.
Oh, they don't think it's real.
They don't think it's real. They want to open it up in front of everybody right here, right now,
Right.
and show them that there is nobody inside the sarcophagus.
Oh, they think there's someone in there.
Some people do.
Okay, so they think it's a fake.
They think it's a fake. They think it's empty. They remember that coffin they dug up that was full of all the black juice in Alexandria or whatever.
Yes.
People are like joking about drinking mummy juice, and then they're like, actually, it's just raw sewage.
Don't drink it.
So the LaCroix faction is like, it's just raw sewage.
It's just raw sewage in there.
And then Brunhilde is like, 9, it is mummy juice. So
No.
No,
So
but-
she believes that there is an elder.
So she comes forth.
OG.
And she's like, I am here as a representative on behalf of my own master, the All-Father. And
Odin?
we believe... You're like, Odin? We believe that it is none other than the gangrel antediluvian herself.
Lilith?
Anoia.
Oh, Anoia. Yeah, that's right. Anoia.
And at that, like, LaCroix, like, Tara actually gives, like, this, ha! Kind of like, and LaCroix just, like, rolls his eyes, because the Camarilla's official position is that the antediluvians never existed.
Why?
That all this bullshit that the Sabbat talk about in terms of like the antediluvians are going to rise up and eat all of us in Gehenna and blah blah blah. The Camarilla is like, Gehenna's not a thing. The antediluvians aren't a thing. None of this is a thing.
Okay.
It's just part of the jihad that they use
Yeah.
to manipulate you.
Okay.
So fuck it.
Yeah, they're just like, whatever. So yeah, I could picture Tara just straight up fucking just laughing uproariously at all of this, just like, like, sorry everybody, but something like that.
something like that. Yeah.
Okay, and now and then Jeremy
Jeremy
and
with
Marguerite. Yeah.
Jeremy's position is, Look, I don't fucking care what's in that fucking sarcophagus. I just don't want it in my city.
His city, I think.
His city?
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's like, I just want it out of here. Because if there is an antediluvian in that thing, we're all fucked.
Regardless.
And if there isn't, then who knows?
It's going to cause trouble
It's going to cause a ruckus. And he points at Brunhilde and he says, all due respect, ma'am. I know you're very powerful, and I don't want to disrespect you. But what would you really do if they opened that thing and there was nothing inside? And her eyes flash a little red, and she's like, how dare you even question the wisdom of the All-Father? And Jeremy's like, you see?
Yeah.
I can't even ask a question.
Okay.
What's she gonna do if we open that fucking thing? You know? Like,
let's just open it and see. That's my...
so your position is actually on LaCroix's side.
Open it.
Okay, so let me make some rolls here.
Open it.
Open it.
Present them.
Open it. All right, so I'm going to roll for LaCroix first.
Okay.
I'm counting successes
All
here.
right. What do I add to it?
That's for you to decide.
Okay.
So
all right, I'm going to look at my stuff here.
2, 3, 4. Okay.
I feel like it would be courage.
Ooh, I like that actually. That's a really good idea. Mm-hmm. Okay, now I'm going to roll Jeremy's.
Because like if it were going to be... Oh no! God, he's such a nothing burger.
He's out of practice. Yeah, that's zeros.
He's
I rolled
always
3
out,
ones.
He's always out of practice.
0 successes.
I would either. So I feel like in terms of courage.
Yeah.
I feel like courage would be to open it.
Okay.
And I feel like conscience would be to keep it shut.
Ooh, I love that. You're so good.
Oh, thank you.
All right. So far LaCroix is actually in the lead.
Yeah.
He's got 4 successes.
Okay.
Brunhilde has 2.
Okay.
McNeil has 0. We're trying to get to 6 successes total.
What does Putineska think?
He's just
a facilitator.
He's facilitating. He's
Okay.
getting paid no matter what.
Okay.
He doesn't give a shit.
Yeah. He's just creating the space and the cool vibes.
He's like, maybe there's antediluvians, maybe there's not. Who cares? You know? Like,
yeah.
you know, like, it's like, don't you even care?
Like, I don't give a fuck.
He's just kind of out to lunch.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like, I don't know.
All right, so I love the lore with the Giovanni that like they wait a long time before they even ghoul you,
Yeah.
much less embrace you.
Yeah.
So that it explains why a bunch of them are like these old like mafia dons.
Yeah,
You know, it's
I
like
know.
why don't they all look like they're in their 20s like the rest of the vampires?
Right.
Oh, it's because they let them age up a bit and then they embrace them.
Mature. It's like a fine vintage.
It's a fine vintage. Anyway, so yeah, we need to get to 6 successes.
Okay, so I have 4 in my courage.
Okay, so if you roll 2 successes,
I'm rolling it. I thought you were
rolling.
going. Oh, okay.
No, I'm not gonna roll for you.
I don't know.
I gotta give you some agency here.
All right, I'm just kind of cool. I'm like watching.
It's been a big lore dump episode.
I like it. I'm into it.
The other path, by the way, was more action oriented, so it was interesting that we went this path.
If I hadn't been summoned, then
Yes, of course. That's what I'm saying. Like,
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Difficulty what?
6.
6.
Oh my god.
3.
That would make 7 successes.
So I'll say.
What do you say?
So I say. So there's kind of like an impasse, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So LaCroix's like, just.
Yeah, he's like he's and he's doing the same thing with Brunhilde. He's like, no disrespect intended. We just think that the easiest, like the best thing to do is open it right here, because if you're right, then we'll know, right?
Yeah.
And
In his British accent, right?
oh well, yeah, actually that's right. He's not American.
Yeah.
If you're right, then we'll know. And anyway. So what do you do?
So I'm gonna walk up to where like they are, because I've kind of been standing back a little bit on the fringe.
Along with the Valkyries. And,
Yeah, so
and
I'm
the
gonna
ghouls.
walk. I'm gonna walk near Brunhilde, right?
Okay, right.
And I'll say, shit. So my belief, and this is not what I'm saying, but
Yes.
So my belief is that like, yeah, let's just open this and get this the fuck over with, because the sooner it's open, the sooner we'll know. So I'll turn to her and I'll say, are we equipped to handle opening it up now? I'm sure she would love to see you.
Brunhilde says, I am prepared for whatever awaits us inside the sarcophagus. Whenever.
Let's do it now.
I love that. So you're turning it on Brunhilde and making it look like it's her decision. Nice. So she says, very well. Let us open it now. But when you all find out that it really is the antediluvian, you will all bow down before me.
Before her? What? Because we have to revive her.
That's right. Yeah,
Right?
exactly. Yeah, she'll just be whatever the fucking antediluvian looks like, right? And it's like somebody drip some blood on
Zombie
her.
queen.
Right, exactly. Yeah, zombie queen. There you go. All right, so LaCroix says, fine, but I want to open it.
All right. Back off. Back off. I think we can handle it. I say, and I look at Brunhilde.
Oh, shit. All right, you want to open it?
Yeah.
Ooh, look
Because
at
we're
you.
strong. I mean,
Yeah.
like we're the muscle, right?
Uh-huh.
So her, me, Wanda.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
I think.
All right, so LaCroix says, very well, but I wish to stand next to it so I can see.
So I look at Brunhilde.
She shrugs, like, very well. Yes. She's probably thinking, like, we'll feed you right
It'll be
in
the
there.
first one. We'll just
We'll
pop
just
you
tip
in and then close the. All right, this little snack. All right, so I think we will push. So I'm thinking, like, okay, so he can stand. Okay, this is what I'm picturing.
Okay.
So let me know if this is totally off base.
Okay.
I think what we would do is we would push the. I know how strong she is. I mean, she
Yeah.
could push it off herself.
Sure,
honestly.
of course, yeah.
But I can pretend to be part of this.
Sure.
So
I just like to feel involved.
I'll stand on one end.
Yeah.
She'll stand on the other end, and we will push the. But I don't think it'll break.
Yeah.
Or no. I know
She can push it.
she can push it, and I will hold
You
it
and
as
Wanda
it's
can-
as we're pulling it down off to the side.
Okay.
Right.
So LaCroix is going to be standing
And
next
he'll
to
be standing
Brunhilde.
next to her. Yeah.
The sheriff's behind him.
Yeah.
Tara's behind him.
Right.
you know.
Right. Jeremy and Marguerite.
Yeah,
are
they're like,
yeah.
like everyone's very curious.
Okay,
you know?
so Wanda and I are going to be on either side, like on the head end or the foot end,
Yeah.
holding that cover as it's coming
Yes,
toward us from
yes.
Brunhilde pushing it open.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Plus, we can hide under it if something.
Ah!
That's not the intention. I'm just thinking of the appearance. Okay.
So the lid is pushed back with a scraping sound.
The stone scraping sound. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And sure enough, it starts to tip.
Yeah, and so we're holding it.
Wanda are holding it.
Uh-huh.
And you can see. So what you see is
Yeah.
like Tara, LaCroix,
Yeah.
Brunhilde, Jeremy, Marguerite.
Lorenzo.
It's like the Last Supper.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Lorenzo's not there.
Oh, he's not there.
He's
He's just-
hanging back.
Okay.
Again, he does not care.
Does not give a fuck.
And
Fascinating.
and so you see all their faces, and it's almost like lit up a little bit from below.
Yeah.
So we're gonna cut to the outside.
What?
We see the church.
What?
There's some crickets chirping in the grass. A car.
The night
rushes
blooming
past.
jasmine is.
The night blooming jasmine. And then suddenly all the windows just light up as they get blown out. And that's where we'll end it.
No! Sorry, everybody. I'm so sorry. Oh,
That's fine.
no. I'm so sorry for yelling.
I think this is like the most screamy episode we've had.
No,
yet.
that was last time.
Oh, that's true.
Everyone is a scream fest. I don't really scream a lot as Amy.
No, you don't actually. That's true.
Oh
funny.
my god. That's the laugh that Tara did when she was laughing about
you go.
there not being
There you go.
anything in there.
Nice.
Oh. Oh no.
We're gonna be rolling some dice next time.
I mean, I rolled a good amount this time, but we're gonna be fighting for our lives.
That's what I mean. We're gonna find out just how in how many pieces everybody is.
Oh no.
Okay. You get a point for showing up.
Oh God. Okay.
Technically, it's a point at the end of each chapter. It's not for showing
that's
up,
fine.
but whatever.
All right.
All right. What the hell did you learn tonight?
Well, I learned what really happened
Yeah.
with Don Sebastian
Absolutely.
and Christopher being a part of that.
Mm-hmm.
I've learned that elders are not to be flexed with.
Yes.
I've learned that feels like a lot.
I mean, those are some big ones. So
Yeah.
I think we can leave it at that.
Oh my God.
If you agree with the answer. That's so dumb.
These assholes.
All right. So role playing, as always. I can't imagine a scenario in which I don't give you a point for role
I
playing.
think that's just for players to be encouraged.
Yeah,
Like
it is.
if like
It
oh,
is.
Edie heard me scream.
Oh, it's okay.
She's just like, okay, it's an hour before dinner. Just giving a check in to see how everyone's doing.
Just checking in.
Just seeing what's going on.
Yeah.
Hi, Edie.
Oh.
Hi.
Okay, and then I'm gonna give you a point for just being a good sport with all that lore dumping.
Dude,
and
I love that. I love it.
I never want to narrate too much, you know.
No,
what I mean?
look,
Oh, there you go. I think I need new chords.
I think that might be a good idea.
Anyway, go on.
I just feel like, I don't know. I just
Narrating.
feel like I don't think. Here's the thing. There's a time and a place.
Yeah.
Right. And I
Yeah.
just feel like a lot of the time there are some, there's some storytellers that might think that that's just all they need to be doing.
Right.
But you handed it off enough, and you let me
Okay.
chime in, especially with the dream and everything.
Yeah.
And I know there's just the story of what's happening, which is just nuts.
Yeah.
And so I anticipate that, and I might feel a little frustrated by being summoned,
Right.
but I like it. It's a story. It's a story you're telling, and I'm here to participate. So.
Totally. Okay. Cool. All right. Hello, little hellhound.
Oh. She's like, food. She's like, dinner's in an hour. Did you know that?
Did you know?
Are you aware?
All right. Well, any other comments before we wrap up?
I don't. When are we gonna play again?
Yeah. Right. Well, as soon as possible.
Dude.
Yeah. Did you like the dream? That worked?
I love that.
Yeah.
I loved it. I'm going to have to reference it, obviously, when
Yep.
everything is said and done.
The whole bit with how Christopher was making it seem like a movie that just
I
kind of came to
know.
me spontaneously.
Oh,
but,
yeah. He loves that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
Exactly.
He's still around.
He's still around. Where is he? We don't know.
Who is he interacting
We
with?
don't know. Yep.
Definitely not Sam Morningstar. He doesn't like being called Chris. Lovely job.
Thank
Amazing
you.
job.
Well, same to you.
Oh, well.
It's always a good time
Yeah.
here in the world of darkness.
Right. Oh.
I'd like to take a moment to thank all of our patrons, both past and present. And thanks, as always, to those of you backing us at priest level and above. This includes Jonathan Morgantini, Marley Griffin, James Gilbreth, Hunt Cal, Jathar 132, Mika Tertianen, N.J. Colton, Ptolemy, and Just Barbarian Things,